Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the Casual Sports Talk Podcast, Week 13 Stocks Edition. And now we got the gentleman right over here who realizes he will always use all his timeouts for his family. Here's Douglas.
Well said, Stu. Well said. I'm assuming you're referring to the bizarre ending of the Lions-Bears game, but I was here for it.
Oh, I was here for it right over here. Oh my goodness, that was a weird game. I don't know how, like, you guys. We'll get started when we talk about that game that first week. And now we got a gentleman right over here who realizes, hey, at least we'll get good draft picks. Here's Chris.
Yes, that's what I was hoping you would say, Stu. Because low key, I mean, that was one of the most entertaining Monday night games, if not one of the most entertaining NFL games. Browns Broncos last night. I was hoping that they would lose. Because I don't want the Browns being 4-8 or having being 3-9, so that we could squeeze up and get a better draft pick. Because right now we're projected to be seventh, have the seventh overall draft pick, and I wish we could, squeeze a little bit higher up there.
Yeah, I know. You wish you could be these teams that got eliminated this week. That's what I got to tell you, man. You're just like, man, I've been hoping, but I guess it's a tough week this week, gentlemen. This is going to be this is the month. We're gonna have to do some eulogies. We gotta pay our respects to the fallen comrades that got eliminated, and we'll start off with the New York Giants that got eliminated this week, the first team to be eliminated from the NFL. So we'll discuss, and this is the interesting part. So, gentlemen, I went back and listened to our preseason on what we thought about the New York Giants. Interestingly, Douglas, you were a little bit midness on the New York Giants. You thought they were going to be okay.
I believed in Danny Dimes.
You believed in Danny Dimes. I literally said Daniel Jones was trash, and that's why I gave him a 2. Christopher, you gave him a 3. Douglas, you somehow thought Daniel Jones was going to come back and be good, and I still want an apology from that.
Hey, now Danny Dimes is on a playoff contender.
Oh,
yes, I'm gonna call it more of an organizational failure. Danny Dimes is gonna be the next Sam Darnold.
Oh my God, he's gonna be the next Sam Darnold. So I guess we'll start with you, gentlemen. What are your thoughts about the New York Giants' dumpster fire of a failure season right now? We'll start with you, Douglas.
I mean, it was disappointing. Like, I think, I don't know. It's just rough to be in the MetLife Stadium there in New York, I guess, this year because underachieving teams. I mean, they got to be missing Saquon. Like, that's my main thought. Like, you're just watching this dude possibly set the all-time rushing record as your team tanks. It's a rough one.
Yes. I wish I had a Giants fan and I could take a photo of Saquon and be like, do you miss him yet? Do you miss this man yet? Do you miss him? Do you miss this man? Do you remember when you said it was the problem?
Did they ever say Saquon was the problem?
I mean, Saquon was getting injured, but still. I mean, it's the same thing when I sell all the Brownies fans, when I give you a picture of Baker Mayfield, be like, do you miss this man? Do you miss him? I just want to let you know
what I miss about Baker Mayfield, Stu? That he's okay with planting flags. What a guy.
And I am in agreement with Baker Mayfield. I agree. That's what rivalry week and upsets are all about. Plant the flag. If you go into someone's home, if you go into someone's field as an underdog, plant that flag if you beat them. I'm in agreement with Mr. Mayfield.
I don't know about the planting the flags part. I'm just saying.
Wow, Stu. Wow, that's what college football is all about. The rivalries, moments. That's what makes it exciting.
I digress, gentlemen. I mean, like I said, we are talking about the NFL this week. Maybe next week.
Stu, why don't you want to talk about college? I don't understand. Are you trying to avoid a sore subject?
Maybe. There's a thing we like to call deflecting, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, all right. I guess
Baker Mayfield, since the beginning of the 2023 season, he has 52 passing touchdowns, and that he leads the league in that category. So that's amazing.
But
yeah, man, he's been balling out.
But I gotta say, for the Giants, I'll start with myself. Like, let's be honest. I was right. I want an apology, Douglas, on you telling me. I mean, granted, you didn't think they were going to make the playoffs, but
yeah, why does Doug owe you an apology? None of us thought they were going to make the playoffs.
But you said they were going to be okay.
What record did Doug say that they were going to be?
You thought you okay, so this is actually the fun part. So we can actually go back to our records right now. And let's see.
I think I said like a 5-12, perhaps.
No, you did not. You did not give him a 5-12. No. You gave the Giants a 7-10 record.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, you were like so optimistic for some reason.
Doug had a different mindset beginning of the season.
Chris gave him a 6-11, and I gave him a 5-12, which I think none of us will be correct, unfortunately. I think actually all of us will be incorrect. But yeah, I kind of felt like Daniel Jones, the 8 years, no, I'm trying to think, not the 8 years, 6 years of Daniel Jones has been the quarterback, has been a complete, besides like 1 year, been like a mid, been bad. I've never been impressed with Daniel Jones. He's probably going to be back up somehow. The Giants are pretty much an absolute dumpster fire organization, and their coach is probably going to get fired by the end of the year. So, Christopher, you're up next.
I don't see the Giants winning another game regular season. They got the Saints. Saints are a beatable team. Saints, Ravens, Falcons, Colts, Eagles, all tough teams. The only team they could possibly be is the Saints. So what do I think about the Giants? Getting rid of Saquon was a huge mistake, but yeah, I didn't realize he was so injury prone on the Giants. Actually, now that I think about it, during fantasy, that's why I never wanted to draft Saquon, because he was always injury prone. But now he's healthy, and now he's on a better team, and the Giants deserve that E that's on the board right now for eliminated.
Yes, so you're very much like bullish on, like I said, I don't know if the Giants will ever be good. Maybe they'll get – I just feel like they might be bad for a long time. It's like them and the Browns. I'm sorry. I know you're a Brownies fan, but I feel like they're going to be the absolute dumpster fire of an organization of the 2020s.
No. I don't know if I put the Browns in that category, Stu.
Browns are going to probably be bad. You're going to keep Deshaun.
About to be eliminated after next week.
Yeah, and you're going to keep Deshaun next year, so good luck with that.
I mean, we have to keep him.
Dude, the Cowboys are about to keep Mike McCarthy, bro.
How dare you? We're still in the playoff. We have a shot. I don't care. My Cowboys delusion is we're going to win the Super Bowl. Cooper Rush will take us to the Super Bowl promised
land. Good one. You beat the Giants, Stu.
Yeah. After that win, I was like, we're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Of course you would say that, Stu.
And now, speaking of other teams that got eliminated right now, we got the LA Raiders, who, and like I said, we went into, like I said,
LV Raiders for Las Vegas, not LA. They moved, Stu.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking about the 70s Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Stop living in the past. We're in 2024.
I know. What you mentioned
almost 2025.
Like I said, I listened to basically our past podcast when we talked about the preseason about the Raiders. None of us felt confident about the Raiders. None of us felt confident about Gardner Minshew as a quarterback. We all gave him a 3. We were all like, man, this team is pretty much not that good. And everybody gave the Raiders a 5-12.
Ooh, all right.
Yes. So, gentlemen, I guess I'll start with myself. Even though we're not going to talk about them the last week, man, this Raiders team was garbage. And also
Stu, don't forget this garbage just went toe to toe with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was actually hoping the Raiders would have pulled that one off.
Yeah, until the long snapper just realized I got to screw this up.
What did the long snapper do? I wasn't really watching the game. I was following.
He basically, there was a penalty. That was the crazy part. There was a penalty. The long snapper threw it improperly. Actually, the Raiders had a penalty right there. The Chiefs got the ball from a fumble. So the penalty was on the Raiders. They declined the penalty, and the Chiefs won the game because of that.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
What a way.
What a way that the Chiefs find a way to win a game.
Yeah, so impressive. We're all just so excited.
Yes. They're like, they can't get away with it, but somehow they do it. I don't know. I'm just like, okay, they did get them close to the Chiefs, but let's be honest, this Raiders team was not that good. I mean,
exactly, Stu. Neither are the Chiefs. You get it.
No, they beat them by 7 at one point in the game. The Chiefs beat the Raiders.
Who cares if they're up by 7? Wow, they're up by 7 to the Raiders. What is Stu? That's how you're defending them, Stu. Let it go, man. Let it go.
You're the Chiefs who were 10-1 going against a team that was 10-2. I'm sorry, 2-10. I'm sorry, 2-9 at the time. The Chiefs should have blown their socks off if the Chiefs were this amazing.
But I digress. We're not talking about the Chiefs. We got to talk about the Raiders. So
we are talking about the Raiders.
Yeah, we are. We're saying that yeah. Jeez, Stu. Those very Raiders.
Yes. But anyway, I guess we'll start with Christopher. What is your thoughts?
All right, we'll continue with me. I mean,
the Raiders season as a whole, since they are now
the Raiders. I mean, Devontae Adams, he wasn't happy there. They lost Josh Jacobs. He went to the Packers. He's having a great season in Green Bay. Raiders are 2-10. They have a tough schedule coming up. Buck in Tampa Bay, at home against the Falcons, at home against the Jaguars. That's a winnable game. And then in New Orleans, play the Saints. And then at home against the Chargers. I see them winning maybe one, maybe two of those games. So yeah, they should finish 3-14, maybe 4-13. Yeah.
Hey, get that draft pick, baby.
Yeah, they need to start just like the Browns. Possibly they need to start rebuilding.
Yeah, it's time to tank, baby. And now, Douglas, I guess, do you have any thoughts on the Raiders season coming to basically being eliminated since it's no more?
I don't know, man. This team's confusing to me. I think I picked them to fire their head coach first, and Aiden O'Connell had a nice game, Stu, but there's not much there. I mean, they should have traded Max Crosby. Get your first round picks. You got to kind of do what the Lions did and rebuild. I don't know. I mean, hopefully for them, they get that number one pick and can get their QB of the future, I suppose.
Yeah, it has just been a very much disastrous. Them and basically the Giants have been a pretty disastrous. Like all four of these teams has been a pretty disaster. Like, let's be honest, you got eliminated first week in December. It's been a pretty bad season.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, none of us were surprised that they were going to be bad. All of us were really not that surprised that they're eliminated early. If I told you, yeah, we'd not be surprised right now. And unfortunately, this is going to be probably the last time we'll be talking about the Giants and the Raiders until February when we get done with it. We get to do our final report card on each of these teams that didn't make it to the Super Bowl or the playoffs. And unfortunately, we got another eliminated team. The New England Patriots. Oh, how we feel so sad for those Patriots fans that they're now eliminated after.
Do we feel sorry for them, though, Stu?
No, I don't. No one feels sorry. No one feels sorry for the Patriots fans, unless you're in Foxborough. Nobody.
The Patriots had their dynasty at one point. Now they're on the downhill slope. So
yeah, it's like, man, they're going back. When people go to like Throwback Fridays, they're like going retro. Like the Patriots are going back 1990s Patriots. Oh, what a glorious day when they were 1-15. They were so good. Everyone was like, man, I love being a Patriots fan. Man, what a lovable underdogs right now. But I guess we'll start with myself on the Patriots. Like I said, nobody had, all of our expectations were very low on the Patriots, let's be honest. I was like, yeah, this is a rebuilding year. They were not going to be good. I did talk about Drake May. I did say that Drake May was better than Drake from Canada. I still stand by that correctly. I'm just saying Kendrick was way better. Represent. Just saying.
You say Canada is better than what?
I said Drake May is better than Drake the rapper.
Oh, okay. That's a hot take. What about Drake from Drake and Josh? He probably goes above all those Drakes.
I don't know. Okay, he might be the better Drake. I mean, he was an Oppenheimer, so I can't hate on that. So, but still.
I think Josh was an Oppenheimer, wasn't he?
Josh?
You said from Drake and Josh? Drake wasn't in that, was he?
No,
wasn't it Josh?
No, it was Josh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was Josh. Don't be joshing around like that. Too.
Oh yeah, no. They're both bad. No, I'm sorry. If you think about Drake Bell, no, yeah. Oh damn. No, that's a terrible Drake. They're both the bad Drakes. Drake May is better than both of those Drakes.
Heck yes, dude. Spit it.
Spit it. I'm speaking facts right now. So anyway, But let's be honest. Nobody thought that this is a rebuilding year. This is a rebuilding year. Let's be honest. They're going to be, maybe they'll get another QB in the future. Maybe if they get Drake May to like another year and see how he does. But we'll start with you, Christopher. What is your thoughts about the New England Patriots season overall?
I mean, yeah, their dynasty's done. Well, we knew that once Tom Brady retired and Bill Belichick, he retired. You know,
well, it's kind of more like we're firing you / you're going to retire.
Yeah, they play the Cardinals, the Bills, the Chargers, then the Bills again. They should lose all 4. They have a bye week coming up. What's their record right now? 3-10. So they should go 3-14. I mean, I didn't really follow Patriots too much to make too many comments on them. Yeah, Drake May. Who's their starting quarterback?
Drake May.
Who was it? What was it? Drake May this entire season?
Oh no, wasn't it Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah, it was Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, that's right. And then Drake May
okay.
the last couple games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how Drake May performed. Hopefully, he's a rookie this year, right? So hopefully he does better. His years to come. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't anticipate them winning any more games. Finish 3-14, get a top 3 or top 3 pick for sure.
Yeah, I think they're
definitely. Which I want it to be the Browns. It's going to be probably the Jags, Raiders, Patriots. But yeah, we'll see.
So you're like
4 weeks left, 5 weeks left.
So you're like that movie Spaceballs, where they just like have the vacuum that's sucking, and you're just like Browns, and you're just watching Browns game be like suck.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
I mean, I want the Browns to suck and lose out, but
yes. And now, Douglas, what is your final thoughts on the Patriots season as a whole?
Well, I think last week I referenced, I'm kind of tired of just saying, yeah, they lost, but Drake May was fun. So I'm kind of glad to stop saying that. So
yeah,
I'm hoping I think that they'll be better here soon. Like I feel like Drake May is more legit than Mac Jones was. Like I like Drake May's like physical tools more. Like I feel like there's a future here eventually with Drake May, but kind of a down year, new head coach, got to kind of build from the ground floor. So
yeah,
hopefully for them, they get a top 3 pick and they can start rebuilding.
And also, Christopher, I need you to defend yourself, though. Why did you think that a first-year head coach was going to get fired?
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time in history that a first-year head coach would be fired.
But the Patriots would do that?
All right, so I don't know how the Patriots run their organization. I don't live in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
I'm just saying.
I mean, apparently they don't have they don't have a track record of firing a first-year coach, apparently. So I don't know. Because I just knew the Patriots were going to be terribly bad this year. So I'm like, well, if they're terribly bad, then correlate with them firing their first-year head coach, you know?
Yeah, your opinion. Yeah, I'm sorry, but your opinion is trash. Trash on that opinion.
And then who did you guys pick to get the head coach fired?
Oh, I said the Giants was going to get their head coach fired.
And then, Doug, who'd you say?
I think the Raiders.
Raiders. Okay,
I think honestly those are definitely. I think honestly those are both good candidates of
I think so too.
Of hitting the NFL unemployment line, unfortunately, for both of these head coaches right now. And all I gotta say for the Patriots is, I don't feel sorry for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry.
No.
I'm just saying. Does anyone feel sorry, gentlemen, that the Patriots suck?
No, I can't say that.
You already answered this question. No.
Nope. That's how I feel.
Absolutely not.
And then finally, the shocker of probably the season, I will say, gentlemen, that the Jacksonville Jaguars have officially been eliminated from the playoffs right now. Unfortunately, it's very interesting because like this is probably the only one that we're actually really shocked. Me and Douglas are very sort of optimistic on the Jaguars. We both gave them a 6. Christopher was a little bit bullish on the Jaguars. You thought that they might not be as good enough to make the postseason, and that's why you gave them a 5.
That was correct. So you guys both owe me an apology.
No, no, you didn't think they're gonna suck this.
Apology.
No.
Last time I checked, Jaguars aren't making the playoffs, and you and Doug both said they're making the playoffs.
But you didn't think they were gonna collapse.
He's got us there still.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry,
it's like pouring salt.
I bow down to thy genius. I bow down to the genius. Very nice.
Insult to injury. Trevor Lawrence getting smacked out there.
Oh yeah, we got to probably we'll talk about that with who was the guy that got
The Texans.
Yeah, the Texans.
I can't pronounce his name.
Al-
Alzier or something like that.
I was here, like that hit was just like, and it looked really bad because he was like collapsing back, and it's really bad when he literally is just like this, and like his fist was like that, like
his arm was up in the air.
His arm was above in the air, like in a fist mode, and it was like, oh my god, that looks like scary. Like that was not in a cool. But even without Trevor Lawrence, this team is really bad. Like honestly, like. Even in the comments, the Shy Khan said that this was the best Jaguars team he's ever seen in his entire ownership is like laughable right now. Like this team is really in a dumpster fire. Doug Peterson is about to get fired. I honestly am going to say it. I think he's in the same mode as Mike McCarthy. He got lucky that he won a Super Bowl. I don't think and I think this honestly proved being in another organization right now that Doug Peterson's not that great of a coach. And now,
it seems like he's not. I mean, their team's 2-10.
Well, dude, at least he took my favorite team to the Super Bowl. Fly, Eagles, fly.
How dare all of you troll me about the goddamn evil empire? I hate that city. It should be moved to Canada. I'm just saying.
They can't just pick up a city and move to Canada, especially the city of brotherly love, where the Declaration of Independence was signed.
Literally a brotherly hate.
Yeah, dude, how would that look on us? Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Hey, just because your football team, because one guy in Ypsilanti, Michigan doesn't like your football team, we're going to move your entire city up north of Canada.
Yeah! If I'm a dictator in this country, that's what I'm doing. I'm moving them straight to Canada. Philly is going straight to Canada. I'm taking the whole city, and I'm just going to move it all the way up. Just take everything and send it to Canada. Send it to like the northern part of Canada.
That sounds great, Stu. I'd go visit the Liberty Bell in Canada.
Not the northern part of Canada. There's nothing up in the northern part of Canada. It's complete.
But what if there was a major metropolitan area like Philly? Yeah. The Liberty.
Everyone would be abandoning that. I'm just sorry. But anyway, I guess we'll start with you, Christopher. What is your thoughts about the Jacksonville Jaguars and their?
I mean, you guys knew my thoughts from the get-go. They were not going to make the playoffs. Put them at a 5, and 5. Last time I checked, 5 does not make the playoffs.
Yes, you thought they were going to be in football hell. They were more in.
I mean, 5 is not football hell. 5 is just missing the playoffs, dude.
Yeah, it's 5. Yeah, it is missing the playoffs / you're in football hell.
How? If you just miss the playoffs, I don't think you're in football hell. You should be, patting yourselves on the back, like, "Oh, we had a great season." Football hell would be like the Browns.
Some teams, I feel like if you did make the playoffs and then you don't, then you're kind of in like that football hell right now.
Yeah. So Jacksonville, they're 2-10, 5 games left. Tennessee, that game could be winnable. Yeah. Jets, that should be a good showdown. The Raiders. So yeah, I feel like out of the 4 teams that have been eliminated, Jacksonville could have the best record out of these 4 teams at the end of the season. Because they play, like I said, Tennessee, New York Jets, Raiders, Titans, and then Colts. Yeah. The Colts, they'll probably lose one of the games against the Titans, but Colts, they should lose that game. And then the Jets, that's always a toss-up. You never know what Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets are going to do.
I know what they did last week. Disaster.
Oh man, so the Jets are like the opposite of the Lions, man. Like they said, like the sports books absolutely love the Jets because people bet on them every week, and like they lose every time, and like people like these big time bettors are going all in on the Jets every week just to get destroyed.
I feel like it's just the opposite.
I'm here for it.
I feel like if I'm a sports bettor, I'm just like, oh, anything on the spread on the Jets, opposite, they're gonna do worse.
Exactly.
Honestly, even if they were even at the moment of the game when they're up 16 points, you should have just put all right, I'm going to put some money on Seahawks just because the Jets are going to somehow screw this up.
The Jets are going to jet.
The Jets are going to jet themselves. All righty, Douglas. Do you have any thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguars' disastrous season as of right now?
I mean, I think you nailed it, Stu. Like Doug Peterson's on his way out. It's kind of wild, man. Like, I guess ever since they hired Urban Meyer, man, like they've just been a disaster. Like he stunk. They thought they'd get better. They won that one playoff game over Justin Herbert, so you kind of thought they might have hope, but then they're back. It's like this. like what they kind of only peak for one season and then they kind of go back to irrelevance. It's pretty unreal.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. I'm like, I think you still need to keep Trevor Lawrence for right now.
Well,
like,
didn't they just sign him for a lot of money for a lot of years? They're not going to get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much stuck with them.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many years. It's probably a 5-year contract if I had to imagine. That's what the going rate is usually.
Thanks to Sean Watson for overpaying mediocre quarterbacks.
Yeah, I can't stand that. Watson was a trendsetter for that. Watson got paid, Danny Dimes got paid, and then luckily he was able to leave. T-Law, Trevor Lawrence got paid. It's a mess in the NFL quarterback wise. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Can't change it.
Oh my god, it is what it is. And unfortunately for the Jaguars, they're back to they went from like relevant to irrelevant to sort of relevant to back to irrelevant right now. And unfortunately,
relevant to eliminated.
And so, like I said, gentlemen, for these 4 teams, we don't need really discuss them anymore since they're eliminated until February. So, bye, Jacksonville. Bye-bye. Bye.
You mean until next August or in the preseason?
Well, we do like a final report card for all the teams.
All right, fair enough.
They didn't make the playoffs, so we do
F.
Yes, F. You get Fs. All these teams get an F. Now we got to talk about this week 1 game, the November game versus Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. And I was watching this game, Douglas. And this is the back of my mind when I was watching this game. I was like, man, there's a penalty that's helping the Bears. Man, Douglas is going to complain about this and talk about how the NFL rigged them and blah, 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 blah. But then the Chicago Bears were like, hold my beer. I will show you something that's even worse. We're 33 seconds. They got sacked. They have 1 timeout left, and they decided, should we call the timeout now? Wait a minute. Look at my watch. I'll just take our time a little bit. We'll see. Snap the ball. Matt Eberflus is like, it's like taking like 10 seconds, man. And then he's like, we got to snap the ball. All right, we got to do Hail Mary, guys. Sorry. And then they lose the game.
Well said, Stu. It's beautiful.
Amazing play-by-play by yours truly.
I mean, that's what I thought about this game. I was like, my God, the Bears just want to blow this game. Like, it's like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like darn. So they're now 4-8. The Bears are now 14th in the conference right now. They're on the buffer of getting eliminated right now. How do I feel about the Chicago Bears after this abysmal loss? And also, we should talk about Matt Eberflus got fired from the Bears. So they're now coachless right now. I guess the tradition goes, you remember 4 years ago, Douglas, when someone else in Detroit got fired?
No.
Matt Patricia got fired on Thanksgiving.
Oh, savage. I love it.
Yes. So I guess the tradition.
Wait, did he get fired on Thanksgiving?
Yes, on Thanksgiving.
Was that Patricia?
Yeah, Matt Patricia got fired after that game.
Nice.
Just the same thing as Matt Eberflus. So how do I feel about the Bears? The Bears are looking disaster. Like, they're not going to come back and do better. Like, come on. Like, let's be honest. Like, their next 4 games, they got to play against the 49ers. Granted, the 49ers had a bad game last week, but I think they're gonna lose to them. They're gonna lose to the Vikings. They're gonna lose to the Lions. They're gonna lose to the Seahawks, and they got to play against the Packers. Yeah, they're not gonna win no more games.
They just played the Lions well, Stu. You never know.
So here's the thing. So we all gave the Bears a 3 last week. Where can we go from here? Because the teams that got eliminated, they would be 1s, and then the 2s. So we can't give them 1s because
no, we're not going to give them 1s. But for me, they're getting the 2 for right now because this team is like has no hope. They're like at a 5% odds of making the postseason. Like this is like no hope right now.
Gotcha.
So we'll start with you, Christopher.
Yeah, I would keep them right at. I don't know, man. Like Doug said, and like we all know, they played the Lions pretty well. I don't know about pretty well. They're down 16 and a half.
I mean, they did come back from a 16-point deficit in the second quarter.
Well, I mean,
but
yeah,
the timeout. Do that. Call timeout. Why are you just standing there?
Well, we're talking about the Chicago Bears, not just the head coach. The entire organization.
This is an organization.
They were able to come back still.
Like Caleb Williams looked like he was so pissed after that game. Like, come on, man.
I'm not, man. I mean, there's 4 teams that'd be eliminated. They'd probably be all the ones. I guess we could say
all the ones are gone, so they could be 2s.
Yeah, but so we can't have any more 1s, correct?
Yes, there's no more 1s at this point.
Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna keep the Bears at a 3.
Oh,
and here's my reasoning. Like I said, they played the Lions well, in the second half, not the first half. But then you have, let's see here, you have 4 other teams that have only 3 wins. So they should be the 2s. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So yeah, keep the Bears at a 3 for me.
All right. I mean, I don't know. I disagree just because of that playoff comp. Now, Douglas, as someone that relishes in the Bears' disasterness right now and enjoys their mediocrity and failure, what is your thoughts on the Chicago Bears right now?
I think I'm leaning more Chris than Stu on this one.
Oh.
I mean, they're 4-8. Like they've had some really close losses too. Like they don't feel like a bad team. They just have had bad luck, bad clock management, a blocked kick at the end of the game, a Hail Mary, like a bad clock management. If all 3 of those games flipped like they would have for the Chiefs, you're talking about a 7-5 team here. But they're like the opposite of the Chiefs. They lose all these heartbreakers. And so they're better than their record is. And that's what's really tough about this team.
Yeah, that's really tough about the Chicago Bears is this. They're just still bad. I mean, granted, you guys can agree, but like I said, I the reason why I'm giving them the 2 because you fired your coach also, and that's not a good sign during the midseason.
Well, maybe with their new coach, they're going to be better, and they're going to win some of these remaining games here. You never know.
Come on, the only team that ever made it, they fired the coach midseason and then still made the postseason was the Raiders in 2021.
Well, this isn't midseason, Stu. I mean, we got 5 weeks left. Season's pretty much over. Bears, they're going to be eliminated from the playoffs. They're not going to, more than likely, they're not going to finish the season 9-8. But they can still finish the season 7-10, 6-11. So yeah, there's still hope.
I don't know. I disagree with that. But we can tend to disagree. But my opinion is
so Stu, if that's your opinion on the Bears, and why are you so optimistic about the Cowboys?
We won a game.
Huh? Okay. You guys beat the Giants.
Sir, at the beginning of this podcast, not this podcast specifically, but before the season started, we can't have biased opinions here.
Yeah, Stu. We might be casual, but we still have to respect the game, okay?
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I want hopium. I need hopium right now. Do you see this cup? There's nothing in it. I want hopium, darn it. That's what I want.
Okay.
Anyway, now we got to talk about the Detroit Lions, who still came back from their chin. Man, Douglas,
Well, they didn't come back from anything, Stu. They were winning the whole game, to be clear.
Yeah, they won. They were winning, and then they won.
Yeah, they were winning, and I thought they were going to maybe blow this game, and Douglas was going to be upset about the refs, but they still won the game, so let's be honest.
Well, Stu, I wouldn't have been upset about the refs, and here's why. They just kept missing opportunities. Their kicker finally missed a field goal. They were really bad in the red zone. They kicked a ton of field goals, it felt very reminiscent of that Tampa Bay game where it's they dominated the game. It felt like for parts, but then they weren't scoring. I think they're up 16-0 or something at least. And they were dominating, and then it kind of came apart.
Yeah.
You got to finish your drives. And that's kind of the one possible Achilles heel of this team is they've done it twice where they just stall out in the red zone.
Yeah, they stall out the red zone. So I guess we'll start with you, Douglas. Everybody gave him a 9 this week. How do you feel about the Lions?
Oh, still an easy 9. I'm more nervous about how the Eagles are looking though week by week. Because man, oh man, the Eagles are coming on strong, but I still think the Lions are the complete package though, man. If that game's in Ford Field, I think it's whoever gets the home game though.
Yeah, I think honestly this is going to be tough. I think it's going to be the Eagles versus Lions, and that's going to be an interesting one. And I'm looking at the schedule right now, as of right now. So talking to you.
Oh, 2 right now. It's right now.
Yeah. So Thursday, got to play against the Packers. That's a tough one. Bills is on next Saturday. Then the Bears, which that came close, but I think the Bears are probably going to get eliminated. So they're probably going to, phone it in at this point. Then the 49ers, and then the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lions had the toughest schedule for the rest of the NFL season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had a pretty tough schedule the whole way, it's felt like, too. I mean, especially being in the NFC North, it's just no easy weeks right now, man.
There's no easy weeks, but hey, they're still 9-1. They're still, granted, did not clutch the division. So they're
9-1 through their 11-1. What are you, 2
All right,
weeks
they're
back?
11-1.
Yeah, they're literally 11-1, and like they still have the Vikings in them. If they lose this one at the Packers, man, I mean, you never know. If they lose to the Packers, it's interesting, but all they need to do is just beat the Packers. If you lose to the Bills, it's whatever, because they'd still own like the tiebreakers if they lose to an AFC team.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm still going to keep them at the 9 for right now. It's going to be a tough schedule, but they're still winning games. It's a little bit more uglier now than like the dominance of earlier. I mean, compared to like, the Jaguars and a couple other teams, and like the Packers, and this one was a little bit more too close for my comfort, but they still won the game. Even if it's an ugly win, it's a win. So that's always my opinion. So that's why I'm keeping it.
They all can't be pretty.
Yeah. So what if you
ask those Wolverines? Am I right?
And I'm going to keep the Lions at a 9. I mean, yeah, like Doug said, the Eagles are coming in hot, coming in strong. And, man, like I mentioned, Lions had the toughest schedule up on the horizon for the rest of the NFL season. So you have Packers Thursday night, then you got the Bills next Sunday. I believe it's next Sunday. I think that game is in Detroit, though, against the Bills.
Yes.
So that should take some leniency or, take some pressure off of them. But, man, hopefully that's a preview for was it Super Bowl 52 we're on? 54? I'm not sure what Super Bowl we're at.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's a preview for the Super Bowl. So, yeah, easy 9 for the Lions.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We'll see how the Lions do. And that's going to be very much so. As always, Douglas, you still restore the war on that one.
Yeah, man, I hope their defense can just get healthy.
Yeah.
Like, they've been getting injuries, but they just got Jamal Adams, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun right now. And now, speaking of teams that I feel like are going to come back and win a Super Bowl. No, I'm just kidding.
You finally agree with that. Nice, dude.
I'm just kidding. Okay, we probably won't win the Super Bowl. But my heart of hearts, I'm like, I want to give them a 10.
We probably won't. Just say we won't.
There's no way back.
This one, I'm giving them a 10. We're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Michigan probably won't make the national championship. Yeah, because they won't make the playoffs.
Hey, there's still hope, darn it. Okay, we did beat, and as always, the Cowboys beat the Giants 27-20. Honestly, Cooper Rush had a very good game, in my opinion. Got a couple touchdowns.
One touchdown.
Rico Doddles is like, my God, he did really well in the rushing game, in my opinion. Good luck, basically.
Dude, who are you guys playing, just so we can have a reference?
The Giants.
Oh, okay.
The team that got eliminated through the 2-9, now the 2-10 Giants.
Are we supposed to be excited about like a 4-point win against the Giants? Is that what you're trying to tell us here?
Sorry, Doug, a 7-point win.
7-point win.
Oh, 7. Oh, my bad, Stu.
Come on, Doug. Come on. Let's give them all the credit they deserve.
I was so used to all those 20-point losses. How could I do that?
How dare you all? How dare all of you? We're supposed to win multiple.
Sir, if you can be biased, we can be biased against the Cowboys.
How dare all of you? But anyway, okay, so Dallas is now 5-7. Hear me out. Okay, I know it's like 25% odds, but can Dallas sneak into the postseason?
No. No, Stu.
You're they beat, but it's wrong.
Yeah, like this shouldn't even be a question. Like I don't even understand where you're.
You all gave him a 3 last week. I don't think a team that's a 3 can make the playoffs. I mean,
while you beat the Giants, Stu, great job.
I'm just saying. We won 2 games in a row.
Stu, yeah, okay,
great. And I think there's hope. I'm lifting the hopium.
So you guys still play the Commanders, the Eagles, Like, you still play like a bunch of hard teams too, Stu. Like, you beat the Giants. Like, you're not going to beat all of these other teams. You're not beating the Eagles. You're probably not beating the Commanders again, but who knows?
Sir, there's only one playoff spot that you can hope for, and it's the 7th seed. And that's right now the Commanders, who are 8-5. So, yeah, like Doug said, yeah, you play the Bengals on Monday night. Then you play the Panthers. That should be a win. Buccaneers, and then the Eagles and Commanders. They definitely have to win.
But the Bengals
4 out of those 5 games, if not 5.
So, I don't think there's any shot the Bengals are a win.
Yeah, so just give them an E for me. They're eliminated.
How dare all of you? We still have hope. Let me have the opium and let me give them a 4.
Have you seen how good Joe Burrow is, too?
I think there's a 20%. They're in the mid, baby. We're coming back and we're gonna do well.
All right, Stu. This is why we've been so
the Cowboys this Monday night because it's in Dallas. Joe Burrow's playing like an MVP, but the Cowboys, but the Bengals keep losing. So I would put money on the Cowboys to win on Monday, only because of the trend that the Bengals have been playing at.
I'm just saying.
Oh man, I think the Cowboys are going to get rolled on Monday.
Yeah, I think so too.
How dare all of you? I hate you all. I hate all of you. Give me hope.
There's two teams on Monday night. They're both fighting for a playoff spot, for playoff contention.
The Bengals are phoning it in. Have you seen them? Have you seen their defense? They phone it in. But anyway,
dude, Joe Burrow's coming out saying that they got to play hard the rest of the season to see who's going to be on their team. Like, they're not phoning it in at all. Like, they're still a team that has arguably the best offense in the league. And like, I don't see how Cooper Rush cannot keep up with Joe Burrow. No, in what world can Cooper Rush go toe-to-toe with Joe Burrow, Stu?
That's why I got to give him a 4. They're coming back, baby.
Yeah, and sir, unfortunately, I'm going to agree with you here. We all have game with the Cowboys at 3 last week. I'm going to give them a 4. Yeah, they did. A win is a win. Their record is 5-7. And I did say the Bears cannot be a 2 because they're 4-8. So the Bears are a 3. Cowboys have one more win than the Bears. So yeah, Cowboys can't be a 3. They're not going to be a 5 because they're not just going to miss the playoffs. And right now, a team that's a 5 is a team that just misses the playoffs. And the Cowboys are a 4.
Yeah, no, definitely don't agree with that. They're still a 3 for me.
Why
would I move? What did they do? They beat the Giants, dude. Who cares?
We won 2 games in a row.
That doesn't mean that they're a 4. Like, if you guys had beaten like 2 playoff, or like if you guys beat the Saints maybe, or like somebody that's even like mid, but the Giants are horrendous, dude. Like, they're so bad. It's like, why would I be impressed about that? Like, why are you so impressed this year with teams beating up on terrible teams? Like, we don't care that the Chiefs beat the Raiders by 2. We don't care that the Cowboys beat the Giants. Like, y'all are not – it's not a good team, Stu. You guys are probably going to lose 3 or 4 more games very easily.
Yeah, we're going to see an E within the next 3 weeks.
No,
like
I see it. Why?
And Stu, this is why we've been so harsh on them, because they win against the Giants, and all of a sudden you think that they're legitimate Super Bowl contenders again.
They're going
welcome to the problem, Stu. It's right here. This is why we go so hard when they lose so bad, because
Cowboy fans.
Like, it's unreal. You beat the Giants all of a sudden, like, oh my gosh, we could beat the Lions if they came back tomorrow. No, you couldn't. You not them boys.
We are the boys. We're gonna come back, baby.
My rant here is done.
I think you know what? Screw it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
You're going to get the Super Bowl, baby.
Well, sir, good thing we go with the median, and my median is 4.
So, Stu, I will give you 1,000 to 1 odds on the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. You give me $1 if they don't.
All right, let's do it, baby.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. I look forward to it.
That's the easiest dollar ever won.
And then if we win the Super Bowl, I get like $1,000.
Okay, yeah, that's the bet, Stu. I'll give you $1,000.
How funny would it be if Cooper Rush holds a ring?
Stu, if they did, like, I mean, I'd be like kind of upset about it, but I think our podcast here would go viral, so like it'd be worth it. We'd make so much in money from just being a constant Cowboys ad forever.
Yes. I'll be like, Jerry, get us to the Jerry's world.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd be mad at my $1,000, but it'd be like an investment in this podcast.
Yes. We're gonna
Be mad losing $1,000, but we have a crazy Cowboy fan over here that he'd be correct,
Let's go. And now, speaking of teams that Douglas is so happy at talking about, the Miami Dolphins lost in one of the most. I thought it was going to be the most interesting games, and it turned out to be the most boringest games. They decisively lost to the Packers, 17-30. And we'll start with you, Christopher. What is your thoughts about the Miami Dolphins?
So we all gave the Dolphins a 5 last week. They're still in the playoff hunt. They're right now second outside of the last wild card. Because actually, wild card in the AFC has really gotten close. Chargers, Ravens, Broncos have the 3 wild card spots. And then down below them, Colts and Dolphins. But yeah, Dolphins are still 2 games out. Let's see what their remaining schedule's like real quick. Dolphins play the Jets, winnable in Houston. 49ers, Browns, Jets. Dolphins can make a good push. Like I said, we all gave them a 5 last week. They played like absolute garbage. I did watch a little bit of that game, and yeah, it was all Packers. I was watching ESPN the other day, and they're just saying how Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they're just 2 of the biggest busts wide receiver wise, and that's the truth. I mean, Tyreek Hill, I think he only has 2 touchdowns on the season. Jalen Waddle, I think he might have 3. But man, Tyreek Hill got paid a pretty penny, and he's not really contributing to what he should be doing.
Man, and I always ask this, like Douglas, it's like, man, don't the Chiefs miss Tyreek Hill? They were bad after him, right?
I think Tyreek Hill misses the Chiefs.
Climbing from Miami all the way to Kansas City and be knocked down their doorstep, hopefully get a contract.
Is he one of those like memes where he's like, does the Chiefs, when he's in this luxury, condo in Miami, just like, does the Chiefs think about me after they won a Super Bowl?
But I think, the Dolphins being 5-7, I think they'll be one of the teams that continues to stay a 5. Because there's teams. I mean, the Bengals, the way they're playing, they'd probably be a 4. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I'd keep the Dolphins at a 5 because they should just be barely missing the playoffs.
Yes, and now Douglas, it is now your turn.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like Tua played good in this game. They just, I don't think they did much on defense.
No, the defense was trash, honestly, in this game.
Yeah, that's kind of what we figured. So definitely a huge disappointment. I mean, this was kind of a see if you're a legitimate playoff contender type of game, and they failed this test miserably. Like Chris said, I mean, there's still some hope. Like they're still kind of like right around that wild card, but it's hard to imagine them catching like any of those other teams, Like it's hard to imagine them catching up to a good Chargers team or a Broncos team that's playing really good. So I don't know. I think I'll still stay at a 5. Yeah. I'll do it. Like I'm really tempted to drop into the 4, but like I still think they're so explosive. Like, and they've been playing good. This was just a bad matchup for them.
Yeah, honestly, interestingly enough, I'm going to give them the 4. I just think because, like I said, it's like tough because, like I said, they still are close. They're 2 games behind to the postseason to make the postseason, but they have not been impressive. I mean, they lost to the Pack. I think this is their put up or shut up week, and they lost to the Packers by like 17. So it's not like, I definitely do feel like they're back to the warning signs. It just kind of feels like this is back to the old Dolphins that kind of look a little bit bad. And I'm just been, they're not Dolphins now. I don't think they're like a joke, but it's just not been good. It's not good right now.
The next 2 weeks will be, I guess, next 3 weeks will be a true test. Because, like I said, at home against the Jets in Houston, that's gonna be a big one, and then at home against the 49ers. If they could win 2 out of those 3, they'll be sitting not pretty, but they'll be up there.
Yes. And now, speaking of teams that look like they're coming up, they're bumping up. Man, Douglas, aren't you so sad that the Packers actually have another good quarterback and they're winning games now and they're actually doing legit now?
Still, as long as they sit behind us in the standings, I'm good with that.
But the Packers, they're on your tail right now. I'm just saying.
I mean, dude, I think we saw how those teams matched up head to head a few weeks ago in Lambeau, and it was a beatdown. So maybe it'll be different this time around, but we saw the beatdown. One of those losses was at home to the Lions, pretty poorly.
Mm-hmm.
So I do respect what this team's doing though, man. They beat a hot team. They're sitting right there, man. I mean, it's kind of crazy. If some things bounce their way, they can potentially still even be a 1 seed, They won the game on Thursday night. There's a lot to be excited about. I think they got to be a 7. I think they're probably – it stinks because the NFC is really top heavy right now. So, at 8-3, they're probably still the 4th best team, but they'd beat a lot of teams in the playoffs right now.
I memean, I'm just saying, I think Jordan Love could beat the Seahawks. I still think the Seahawks have been a little bit more sussy, in my opinion. Plus, I don't know if they'll still make the post. The carousel of that division where it's just oh, it's going to be another team. Oh, that's another team right now. Oh, that's another team, unless you're the 49ers and you just can't get back up. So I think I'm probably going to still give them the 7 right now. I've been impressed with the Packers right now. They've been pretty good. Granted, they had a couple stinker losses, Lions, they lost badly and all that stuff. But hey, I mean, for a team that's in a middling, a mid-team-ish, like the Dolphins, and you beat them by 17, this is a lot about this team. It does. So that's what I thought. And now, Christopher, you're up next.
Yeah, I mean, we all gave them a 7 last week. I'm going to continue with that 7 mark because either the Packers are, well, unless they completely dud out the rest of the season, they're more than likely going to finish the 5th or the 6th seed. And the 5th and 6th seed, they're going to play the NFC West, or was that the NFC South? The NFC South. And like Stuart said, it's a carousel with both those divisions, man. It's a toss-up who's going to win. And I don't think either of those division winners is going to make it or get a win in the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, Packers, right now they're playing the Seahawks. I'd say that's going to be a good game if the playoffs start right now. But the way Jordan Love's playing, Josh Jacobs is doing work. They're finding ways to win. So yeah, I like the Packers for sure.
Yes. And go Pats go. I'm just saying for next week.
Go Pat go.
Go Pat go. Go Pat go. Oh my goodness, Packers, they're gonna win to Detroit today.
And now we're talking about the Chiefs, baby.
Chiefs, baby, who has done so well, so amazing. Douglas has been so impressed right now of the Kansas City Chiefs beating them 2-10 Raiders, 2-8.
Wow. You love to see it, Stu. You just love another dominating performance.
Oh my God. Anyway, the Chiefs. And also, gentlemen, I just want to let you know, because that win, and now they're 11-1 right now, they have just clinched the playoffs. So no matter what, right now, the Kansas City Chiefs we will be talking to them in the second week of January right now. So no matter what.
I mean, did any of us think that the Chiefs were going to miss the playoffs? I don't think so.
Oh, nobody thought the Chiefs were going to miss the playoffs. Let's be honest. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. So,
last week we all gave the Chiefs an 8. So where are we going from here, boys?
I am feeling like they can still probably win a playoff game if they're still in that 8. I think they're still doing good. Granted, it's a lot of ugly wins, a lot of close wins, but and I feel like somehow it's like the Chiefs have some voodoo magic that somehow it's like Space Jam, where at a certain point when all the teams have magical powers and they lose all their powers sort of close to the end of the game. Which is either the Broncos with the kick or the Raiders with the literally the long snapper just missing the snap. They still somehow are doing good. And granted, it's a lot of ugly games, a lot of close games. That's probably the one thing that's been a negative. But I can't deny that the Chiefs still look legit. They still are in my Super Bowl contenders right now. I don't think I want to put them at the 9 yet because I'm still not 100% sure. But I'll keep him at the 8 right now.
I mean, I was gonna say, Stuart, don't you dare put him at a 9, but you have your own opinion, and I gotta respect it. We all had him at an 8 last week. If I could bump him down to a 7, I mean, who knows? Who can
but
who knows? I'm not gonna do it though. But who knows who's gonna get the number 1 seed? Like that's gonna be a great podcast because if I hope the Bills get the 1 seed, so we can talk about the Chiefs, who they're gonna play possibly at home in the first round. I mean, the Chiefs. I'm looking at their schedule right now. They've only out of their 11 wins, they've only beat a team by more than 10 points once. I think it was week 4. Let's see real quick. Week 5 against the Saints. Every other game has been too close for comfort. And then they lost the Bills by 9. And that hopefully has a foreshadowing or a preview of the AFC Championship game. So keep them at 8 because I just don't like what the Chiefs are doing. I mean, I like what they're doing. They're 11-1. I wish the Browns were doing it.
Well, that's why.
But the way they're doing it is not how it should be done.
I'm just saying, it's a lot of ugly wins, but hey, they still won.
Yes, dude. It's kind of weird though because there's teams that you criticize when they win ugly, but it's like with the Chiefs, you don't care
because they won Super Bowls. That's the difference.
Oh, okay.
That's honestly like my one dip. Like compared to Philly, where it's like, okay, they didn't win that Super Bowl, and then they were like, and they're barely beating. I know Chiefs were barely beating teams, but I just feel like I got burned before the last time when we underestimated the Chiefs. They lost to the Broncos, who've been mid. They lost to the Raiders, who are bad. And guess what they did that year? Win a Super Bowl.
So, Stu, but we're not talking about those years.
We're talking about the present.
But you still have Patrick Mahomes. You still have Andy Reid. You still have that defense.
Chiefs defense is pretty good, but
I mean, it hasn't been good though. I mean, Bryce Young just carved them up. Aiden O'Connell had a day. Brock Bowers, 140 yards and a TD. Like, why do we just keep saying that they don't have that good of a defense right now? They're just like 2 botched field, like special teams end games to win, like a toe on the line. Like they haven't. I don't know. I said I can't put them at a 7, so I'll still give them the 8. Because my one criteria, unfortunately, was that the Ravens and the Bills had to win, and so those things did not happen. So I will keep the Chiefs.
Do you think the Ravens are going to beat the Chiefs?
Yeah, I do still.
They play bad. I'm sorry. Have you seen the Ravens defense? I digress. We'll talk about them when we get to the Ravens versus Eagles game, but still.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I digress.
There's a lot of big contenders in the AFC. You got the Ravens, Texans, they're kind of floater rotors. Steelers, Bills, Chiefs, 4 big contenders. Those, Stuart, if you don't think that the Ravens could beat the Chiefs, I mean, you have your own mindset, but I'm on Doug's side here. The Ravens could not easily, but that'd be a great game to see again.
And if I'm looking at the Chiefs games, the rest of the games, they got to play against the Chargers on Sunday night. That's actually going to be a really good game. I would definitely want to watch that. Then they got to play against the Brownies, which, let's be honest, the Brownies going to tank. Like at this point, they're not going to.
The game's in Kansas City. That's going to be
No, the game's in Cleveland.
Oh, is it really? Oh,
that's the one I was telling you guys last week. That's going to be one of the upsets for sure. Pick the Browns. Everything in these
over 400.
I will literally just be like, "Oh my god, that's a red alert!" And then the Texans. I don't know if the Texans are going to make the postseason. Then the Steelers. And we got to watch the Netflix game. We got to go on Netflix to watch the Steelers. That's a fun fact. Steelers on Netflix. And then the final game is against the Broncos, which I do think the Broncos might make the postseason, but we'll see. I still think they'll probably maybe win and probably may lose like two or 1 games, 1 more game.
Including the Browns?
No, they're not losing the Browns. Let's be honest.
Man, that's going to be a good game. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, you should go to Cleveland. You should go.
I genuinely think I might put money on the Browns.
Wow. Well, if the Browns are eliminated, it doesn't matter.
I mean, I'll definitely be downtown. I'll be tailgating for that game for sure. So I'll be there. Yeah.
Hey, get the cheap tickets to the Chiefs. I'm just saying, man.
I don't know if they're going to be cheap tickets. I mean, you have the Chiefs and then the Cleveland. We love Jameis. Well, I know about a lot of people don't love him, but majority of us do love Jameis Winston. The way he acts, the way he interviews, the way he plays. The tickets will not be cheap. I guarantee you that.
Will be more expensive than like $33.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
All right, we'll see how it goes. And now, speaking of teams that just won a game, the Colts beat the Patriots 25-24. My God, I thought this Colts team was actually going to lose this game. I swear to God, I thought they were going to lose.
Yeah, they should have.
They should have. But then Anthony Richardson scored a touchdown with 12 seconds left. You know, I was just about to be like, wow, this Colts team is kind of mid. This Colts team is like not looking good. But now they won. They beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots. So we'll start with you. Douglas, what is your thoughts about the Indianapolis Colts?
I mean, I think this was one of our biggest disagreements, Stu, is I'm not very high up on the Colts.
What?
I think they're outside the playoff picture still. I feel like they're a 5. Like, it was a gritty win. Like, you like to see it, I suppose. But it was also one, like, this was a team that you were praising, saying they were a solid playoff team, and they got lucky. I don't know if did you guys see that? Was this the game where the Patriots almost had a 68-yard field goal to win it at the end?
They tanked that game. They were just like, they
were probably a yard away from hitting a 68-yarder walk-off against them, and that would have been deserving.
Yeah. But let's be honest.
68-yard field goal. Oh, man.
I'm just saying, I think that the Patriots were like, hey, we got to get a draft. We got to get good draft picks. Get a 68-yarder. We're not doing no Hail Marys.
Yeah.
So how do I feel about the Indianapolis Colts? I thought that they're doing really well. Granted, they're still in that bubble. They're still in that they're in that postseason bubble right now. And if I'm looking at all the teams that are still in the postseason, that would look like they'll still be there. Ravens could be in a weird, like they might bump out, not make the postseason. I just have this weird feeling. Broncos, I think they're going to make the postseason. So honestly, I feel like the Colts could still do it. But as right now, they are the 5 right now. They are the 8th seed. So like I said, they won't make the postseason. So, but they're still like, if I'm looking at it, they're only 2 games behind. So they could bounce back and try to come back. So we'll see.
Yeah, they're like Doug and Stu, you guys gave them the 4 last week. I gave them 5. I'm going to continue with a 5. Yeah, they're only 2 games back, but then they play the Broncos next week in Denver, and Denver's riding high off that massive win last night on Monday night. You play the Titans. The Giants should be a win, and then the Jaguars. So yeah, they should get 2 wins, maybe 3. That Tennessee game is going to be close, but just the way Mr. Anthony Richardson played, this game was on Sunday, right? I know he had 2 touchdowns, but he also had 2 interceptions. The guy barely threw for over 100 yards. He had 109 yards passing. 109, not 190. 109. And they're going to lose to the Broncos. So now that gap is going to turn from 2 games to 3 games. But yeah, the Colts, they're just going to barely miss the playoffs, just the way they're playing. Sure, Jonathan Taylor's back. He's been doing work. But I don't see him making the playoffs. So yeah, a 5 for me because they're right on the cusp of that wild card spot.
Yeah, they're definitely in that weird wild card spot. We'll see how the Colts do right now. And speaking of the Cincinnati Bengals, I just got to think, man.
What a game.
What a game. But you lost 44-38, man. It's crazy to think, if I'm looking at the scores of everybody else they would have theoretically beaten with 38 points every team besides the Broncos.
And the Commanders.
Oh, so they're setting all kinds of records this year. Like they said, like in any other year, Joe Burrow would be such an obvious MVP. Like he has like 30 touchdowns, like 5 interceptions, like just an unbelievable offense. And I don't know, man, it's wild what he's doing, and they just still aren't winning.
Man, I always have to say, if the Bengals had Joe Burrow's offense and the Chiefs' defense, or even interesting, if they
are you saying that Joe Burrow's better than Mahomes too? Is that what you said?
No.
Is that what you said? Burrow would do better. Oh.
I was just saying, Joe Burrow don't got no Lamar.
Joe Burrow would upgrade that team, Stu?
No. What about the Eagles? How about the Eagles? If they had the Eagles defense, Bengals offense with the Eagles defense.
Well, I think the Eagles offense is perfect the way it is, though.
But could you imagine if the Bengals had the Eagles defense and you would be
Yeah, he's calling the Bengals defense trash.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That would be a lot better.
That's accurate.
Yeah, it is true. Like literally, this is the only reason why
they'd be the Lions. That's what they would be.
Oh my god. They'd
probably be like close to undefeated and just be unbelievable.
Now, okay, for the rest of these 5 games, I'll go first. Like I said, they got to play against the Cowboys. That's a coin flip, in my opinion. I think that's what?
I'll let you speak, Stu.
What? Oh, who tells me that that's not a coin flip and that's a guaranteed loss for the Cowboys?
I mean, I feel pretty confident that the Cowboys are going to lose that game. I'd bet $5 on it for sure if you want to make it.
Let's put the money on it. Let's go.
All right, no problem, Stu. I'm in.
All right, guys. I'm out of this, but if you guys are going to do it, I want to see it.
Maybe I'll go to the game again, Stu. I'll be back in Dallas next week, but I don't know if I want to sit in 2 hours of traffic again.
Yeah, that was worth it, right?
It was cool to see the stadium, man. Like they have the cool like outdoor stadium there. That was pretty cool. Like it was one of the better stadiums I've been to as far as the stadium itself.
But back to the Bengals. They're in the 10th, but they're still in that playoff hunt. And that's the only thing. Man. I don't think I can put it on the 3. I don't think they're in the 3 bad because they did give like 38 points. So that's at least a good thing. So I'm probably going to keep them at the 4 for right now. I think they're still in that 4. It's been a mid-season for the Bengals because of their defense, and it stinks. I think for next year, get some more defensive players, and then hopefully they can do better. And now it's your current, Christopher. What's your thoughts about this?
So Bengals are 4-8. You got the Cowboys, Titans, Browns, Broncos, Steelers. I'm saying they'll probably get 3 wins out of those 5, which makes them 7-10, which would make them obviously still
not making the playoffs.
But we're not talking about the future. We're talking about right now. The way they're playing, offense is amazing. Defense is subpar. You gave them a 4. I gave, let's see, last week. Let me look here real quick. Stuart, you gave them a 3 last week. And Doug and I both gave them a 4. So even though they lost, you increased their stock. Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep them at a 4. They have the same record as the Bears. They're playing definitely better than the Bears, but they're in a different conference and a different division than the Bears. Well, say different conference. That division the Bears are in is crazy. But yeah, if the Bengals had a better defense, we'd be talking a 6 or possibly a 7. Defense is holding Joe Burrow and the Bengals back for sure.
Yeah, now it's time for your turn, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the Bengals?
You gentlemen always sum it up so beautifully. This team is such a bummer because they're pretty solid, man. Like on offense, like record-setting almost on offense. It's kind of a travesty. It feels like they're wasting Joe Burrow's prime and Jamar Chase. They're going to lose T. Higgins next year probably. So I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm like, man, this might have been like their best offense that they were going to put together. And so you kind of hope they can make a push. You kind of hope that they can do something because could you imagine? Because if somehow the Bengals snuck into the playoffs too and they took on the Chiefs, that'd be a game I'd tune into for sure. It'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. But I think
wasn't that a playoff game? Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, and then the mayor basically of Cincinnati was like, "We're gonna call this Joe Burrow."
No, I think that was the AFC Championship game actually.
Yeah, the AFC Championship, and I think the Bengals were everybody, the mayor, they were like, "We're guaranteed to win. We're going back to the Super Bowl. We're guaranteed to go to the Super Bowl," and it's like, about that.
Yeah, it's not how that works.
No, there's no guarantees in the NFL unless you're the 0-16 Lions or the 0-16 Browns.
Yeah,
that's right. But we don't talk about the past, too. We're talking about the present.
We're talking about the present right now. So this was your final score for the Bengals this week.
4.
They're just
4.
They're mid. They're still very, very, very mid right now. This is honestly, is this the most mid 4 you can think of an NFL team.
No, because they're just so electric on offense. Like they don't feel mid.
But I mean, the team as a whole.
Well, yeah, because the defense is the yin, and that's to the yang of the offense. So I guess it makes a mid team, but yeah, you got to have a team that is just level defense and offense, and the Bengals are not that.
They're not that for right now. So we will see how the Bengals will do. And now we got the Steelers, who, with the power of Russell Wilson and Iron City beer, even though they gave up 38 points, they decided to score so many touchdowns that it was 48-38. And now we're going to start with you, Christopher, who loves the Pittsburgh Steelers and Permane brothers so much as a Browns fan. What's your thoughts about this team?
Love the Permane brothers. Great sandwiches. Russell Wilson, let's weld. He's back. Over 400 yards passing. And I shouldn't be smiling talking about the Steelers, but man, they're a team that's electric. That fumble return to seal the game, that was awesome. I shouldn't be using the adjective awesome when talking about the Steelers, but nonetheless, this is a non-biased podcast here. Steelers, I would almost give them. We all gave them a 7 last week. I would almost give them an 8. But like I mentioned before, about 10 minutes ago, there's 4 teams in the AFC that are tough. Ravens, Chiefs, Bills, and the Steelers. So I'm going to keep them at a 7. But right now they'd be playing the Ravens in the postseason. It would be in Pittsburgh. I see the Pittsburgh Steelers winning that game. I was listening to the radio earlier today. I think the Steelers, they haven't really won a first-round playoff game in a few years. But they said with this team, the way it's going, the way it's cooking with oil and gasoline, that we could see a run for the Steelers, at least winning 1 playoff game, possibly winning 2. But yeah, a 7 right now because they would beat the Ravens the way they're playing.
All right, Douglas, it is your turn. What is your thoughts about the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I mean, I'll keep it easy. I agree with Chris. I think too they were saying that Russell Wilson might be getting a huge payday again. Like he's starting to get some buy-in from teams again. It's kind of fun to see, man. Like their defense is awesome. You keep kind of waiting for something to fall apart, and they just keep impressing you more. Like they were, I think, underdogs, 3-point underdogs in this game. I did not expect to see them beat Joe Burrow in a shootout. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Let me make 2 more comments. It's a fun team to watch. Najee Harris, he just bounces off of defenders. Like he'll spin real quick, do a quick little jump, and then like get an extra 5 or 10 yards. And yeah, it's unfortunate the Browns play the Steelers on Sunday. It's in Pittsburgh. I'm very confident it's in Pittsburgh because I'm not going tailgating for it. Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh. So I'm excited to watch that game. Not so excited for what should be the outcome, but yeah.
I mean, are you telling me that the Browns are gonna not beat the Steelers?
I mean, the Browns beat them 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was a snowstorm. Was it? Yeah, 2 weeks ago on Thursday. It could happen.
Here's your chance to back it up, man. Like, what's his name? Pickens was saying that was just because of the weather. The Brownies are going to show them it wasn't.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a tough week because they got to play against the Brownies next week. Then it's the Eagles, Ravens again, Chiefs, Bengals. That's a tough schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Steelers are going to win a few of those games, and that'll show their true worth.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you give the score for the Steelers this week?
He already said 7.
7, yeah.
They're going to 7, and I feel confident with the Steelers. I feel like the Steelers have impressed me. I know I haven't said it in a while. Should Tomlin get Coach of the Year?
I think you say that every week, Stu.
Every year, every week.
Every week.
I don't know why you don't agree. I mean, except for that 1 week with the Browns, he did not deserve Coach of the Year. But I'm just saying, I digress.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that there's guys that maybe I don't know. He's up there, Stu. He's up there.
Like honestly, who thought the Steelers were going to be this good and win a playoff game? Theoretically,
I mean, I did not have them making the playoffs. Surprisingly,
they were making the playoffs.
Yeah, well, preseason picks. I did not have them making the playoffs.
We thought Russell Wilson was wash.
We did, or I did at least.
Honestly, that's probably one of the reasons why I want to give Tomlin the Coach of the Year, just because of that. Like nobody thought they made Justin Fields look really good. They made Russell Wilson look really good.
Or maybe they're just really good still.
Yeah, then maybe it might be that. And so that's why I think they're going to get the triple. See, I'm going to give up 7 Iron City beers for this Pittsburgh Steelers. So congratulations, Steelers. You've stolen away. And now we got to talk about the Falcons, who falcon their way to another loss right now. They are now 6-6, losing to 13-19 to the Chargers right now. So,
all right.
We'll start with you, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the Atlanta Falcons?
I mean, they're a huge disappointment, man. Like they're really lucky that they got those 2 games against the Buccaneers, because without those, man, they're kind of. I don't even think they're still going to make the playoffs. Like I think I'm gonna bump them down to a 5.
Oh,
Yeah, we all gave them a 7 last week. That's surprising that we all agreed for them to win a playoff game.
I think it was more because of who they would have played.
I think it was the Vikings, and at the time the Vikings were just playing like trash. I mean, they still are playing like trash, but winning games.
Wow. Yeah, no, I just don't enjoy this team. I just don't think that they got that it. Like they have fun,
and I just
but man.
They had fun moments. I mean, you had a couple fun games. I mean, them being the Eagles, that was kind of an interesting one. And then they just kind of been like this mid-team right now. Like, honestly, I feel like this division is back. I was like disappointment with the NFC South. Then it's like, oh my God, high hopes. I'm like, oh my God, are they going to be good? You know, is the NFC South like good? Then it's like, crash back to reality. And now the Falcons are kind of like, yeah, it's the same old Falcons, the same old. So they're still at a 5 right now. We'll see. But I'm just like, I don't know how I'm feeling about the Falcons.
Man, you guys really downgraded them from a 7 to a 5. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, honestly, I think this division is trashed, and that's why.
I mean, the way they're playing, they're playing like a 5. They're currently in the playoffs, though. They got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers riding on their heels in that division. How does the tiebreaker go? Does it go division first, or does it go head to head?
Well, since Atlanta owns both head-to-heads, it's head-to-head first.
Well, Tampa Bay beat Atlanta. They're up 2-0 in the season. Tampa Bay beat the Falcons twice.
No, you have it reversed.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. I'm looking at the Falcons schedule. Falcons beat them twice, and for that reason, I was gonna say if Tampa Bay beat them twice, I was gonna put Atlanta at a 5. But yeah, you're right. I was looking at the Atlanta schedule, not Tampa Bay's schedule. So for that reason, Falcons beat Tampa Bay twice this season. No, Stuart, I'm going to put them at a 6.
Whoa!
I know the median is 5, but I'm putting it at a 6 because, yeah, they beat the Buccaneers, and Buccaneers are second in that division. And right now, Falcons, yeah, they lost to the Chargers. Chargers are a tough team, as we know, with Harbaugh as the coach. But yeah, the Falcons have somewhat of an easy schedule. They should lose the Falcons next week. I'm sorry. Yeah, this upcoming
Falcons
week.
are going to lose to the Falcons this week.
They should beat the Raiders. They should beat the Giants. Commanders will be a tough game. They'll probably lose that one. Then they should beat the Panthers. So they should go 3-2 down the stretch. And
they do have a soft schedule towards the end. It's like, honestly, mid-Vikings. There's no one of these that I'm like, oh my God, this is a tough competitor right now if you're a Vikings fan. I mean, not Vikings, Falcons.
Yeah.
And now we got to talk about your favorite team right now. Douglas, you go first. How do you feel about Harbaugh's Chargers right now?
We all gave the Chargers 7 last week. No, I'm looking at the Vikings, not the Chargers. My apologies, guys.
Oh, you're fine.
We all gave the Chargers a 6 last week.
Wow. Yeah. I'm trying to think of this. Okay. Yeah, I still think a 6 feels pretty good for this team. Like, there's just so many teams that I mean, they're good though, but without Dobbins, they kind of just don't look quite as dominant.
Yeah, I feel like for me, the Chargers, they've been good. But then I'm like thinking about it. I think I might be a little bit more bullish because I'm like, they're playing against the Texans, and the Texans have not been good, and they've kind of been tanking a little bit. They've been kind of like, they've been kind of collapsing a little bit. So I honestly am going to probably give them the 7.
What is with the why did you just go on a Texans rant there?
Yeah.
Because they would be the Chargers would be playing the Texans in the first round if the playoffs started today.
Oh, see, I think the Texans. Texans. I don't know, still.
Yeah, that's a toss-off game right there.
I think it's going to be the Chargers. It's so funny that we're now in the opposite realm. Remember when we used to, like, not?
I haven't been paying attention to the Chargers, but I just noticed, J.K. Dobbins, he's on the IR or probably out for the season. And Doug said that they're not really playing as good without J.K. as they were.
J.K.
But, the Texans. Something about the Texans, Texans probably won't get a first-round win like they did last year. So I would actually bump the Chargers up to from a 6 to a 7. I'd agree with you.
Wow!
I can see them beating the Texans.
Look at that. Who would have put that Chargers?
I'd love to see it.
Who would have thought the Charger stock was going to about to bump up and rise to the occasion? Who would have thought that? Nobody. Not me. And now we got to talk about the Seattle Seahawks.
Let's talk about the Jets first.
Yeah, the Jets lost this game 26-21. They had, at one point, a 14-point lead.
Man, we all gave the Jets a 2 last week.
At one point, in the third quarter, in 10 minutes and 40 seconds, the Jets were up 21-7. And they did not score a point ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. How do I feel about the Jets just jet themselves into like a failure? Like, this has honestly been like a dumpster fire right now. I'm looking at their schedule for next week. They got to play against the Dolphins, loss. Jaguars a toss-up. Rams, I think they'll lose to the Rams. They're going to lose to the Bills. They're going to lose to the Dolphins. They might get like one win. I'm not wrong. And so I think for that reason, and also, why do you give up 14 points in the 10 minutes in the third quarter? Can you explain that to me, Douglas?
Because the Seahawks want to make the playoffs.
And the Jets just gave up.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
And then there's also been like this take. Okay, so apparently I was just like looking at the Club Shea. No, it was a nightcap with Chad Ochocinco and I'm trying to think. Oh my goodness. I literally what? Shan Sharp. And there's even one part that Belichick says that Aaron Rodgers is going to bounce back and have a comeback for 2025. And I'm like, no. Their attitude. Yeah. This team is a disaster.
Yeah, I agree with you, Stu. I mean, we pretty much knew the Jets were a disaster, when they started. I don't know a few weeks ago when we really started downgrading the Jets. Yeah, when you're up 21, when you're up 14-0, then 21-7. I mean, Rodgers didn't look too bad in that first half. Yeah, easy for the Jets. Nothing really
they had like a one good exception at one point, and it's just like they just collapse. It's just like a building of just like. That's what I feel like right now with the JETX suck Jets.
Yeah, I mean, it's tempting to give them a 1, but it's like they're not going to get the number 1 or number 2 pick. But yeah, man, disappointing team. I'll give them a 2 as well.
Oh my goodness, we are so disappointed with the JETX. Jets have been to the SUC. Suck Jets. Man. Anytime when I play against the Jets, I just feel like, man, this is a tough opponent this week. We're going to beat them. And now we got to talk about the Seattle Seahawks. So we'll start with you, Christopher.
Seahawks, Stu, you and I gave them a 6 last week. Doug gave them a 5. So, I mean, yeah, they came to play. They came to win, and that's exactly what they did. Yeah, they started off that game pretty cold, though, being down 14-0 in the first quarter. And also I was watching the game a little bit, gave up that 2-point conversion to the Jets. That didn't look too good. But then, yeah, they got the spark going, and that's what a first-place team in the NFC West does because, unfortunately, the 49ers, they're not going to climb back and win that division, more than likely. Cardinals lost. Seahawks, let's see. They probably have the tiebreaker. Let's see. Seahawks beat the Cardinals. Next week, it's in Arizona. That's gonna be a great game. That's not going to determine the division winner, but that could determine the division winner. Because only one team from that division is going to make the playoffs. Seahawks, they'd be playing the Packers. We already said the Packers would win, so yeah, I'll keep the Seahawks at a 6 because.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I mean the Cardinals, they had a tough matchup against Minnesota, but Minnesota's offense wasn't clicking. I feel like Arizona, we had a $5 bet on that game. I won, doesn't matter. Arizona, I feel like they should have won that game. So it's gonna be a tough game on Sunday, but I'll keep Seattle at a 6 because they're making the playoffs. They're doing what they're doing. They're doing what they have to do to make the playoffs.
All right, Douglas, you're up next. What's your thoughts about this? Seattle Seahawks.
I mean, I think for the reasons you guys just said, I have to give them a 6. Like, if the Cardinals would have beaten Minnesota, I might have changed this one or kept it the same because, like, it was kind of a last-second win. Like, they were kind of losing a lot against a not very good team. So I'll give them a 6, though.
Oh, and I feel like that I'm feeling the same way. As of right now, I am looking at the standings right now. They would be playing against, in the theoretical playoffs, the Packers. They're going to lose to the Packers, let's be honest. They're at the 6 right now.
No doubt.
It's just like, I mean, it's just the it's the Seahawks that's been there. Now, it will be interesting because, like I said, they have 5 more games left. They would play against the Cardinals. That's a coin flip. Packers is a coin flip, but I think I'm leaning more Packers. Vikings is a coin flip. They got the Bears and then the Rams. So they only got like 2 sort of easiest games. It's just hard. They're going on hard mode right now.
Yeah, they are.
Yes. And also, speaking of teams that just like went okay, the Houston Texans beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-20 right now. Since the Jaguars are eliminated, we'll start with the Texans, and I will go first. Well, we have to talk about the Trevor Lawrence getting hit by, was it Al Shabaab?
Al Shazier.
Al Jazeera, sorry. Al Jazeera.
Pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name.
Man, I feel like I feel like I should get slapped for like mispronouncing his name. But he got suspended for 3 games right now. So the Texans, as of right now, they're 8-5. They're in the division. They would
game of 6 last week.
A game of 6 last week. I just probably feel like for right now, you did beat a team that's mediocre by 3. And I'm just like, and you had a little bit
a team that's mediocre, a team that's absolute garbage.
Yeah.
In the Jacksonville Jaguars.
In the Jacksonville Jaguars, who's absolutely. But like I said, they're still doing okay. But I think for right now, I got to give them the 6 for right now.
All right now.
All right now.
I mean, I'll easily keep them at a 6. I mean, they're more than likely going to walk away with that division. I'll say walk away, not run away, because the Colts are the Colts. They're doing whatever the Colts are doing.
Yes.
And Texans, yeah.
I mean, that's
they should won that game by a lot more than just 3 points.
And you got one team that's already eliminated. So,
yeah, I mean, it's not like we thought the Jacksonville Jaguars were a real contender against the Texans.
I thought so.
Texans for the AFC South. So I'll easily keep them at a 6 for sure.
All right, Douglas, you're up next. What is your thoughts about the Houston Texans?
Yeah, I mean, like Chris said, they're gonna kind of pull away with this division. I mean, I just don't see the Colts as an actual threat. I mean, they're definitely underachieving from what we expected preseason, but they're still probably a solid playoff team. It'll be hard for them to win a playoff game, I think, though.
So it is a 6-6 right now. We got the Texans still at 6-6. Unfortunately, there's no Texas barbecue in Texas for the Texans. Just saying. And now we got to talk about the Cardinals right over there playing against the Vikings. And somehow, oh my God, I thought the Cardinals were going to win this game.
I thought so too.
I thought so too. But then the Vikings, Sam Darnold became a pumpkin and decided, nope, I'm about to squash your dreams right now. At one point, The Jaguars at one point in the game, they had a 92% odds of winning the game with 8 minutes left, with 4 minutes and 17 seconds left. So we'll start with you, Christopher. How you feel about the almighty has fallen of the Arizona Cardinals?
I mean, yeah, Minnesota came back. I thought the Cardinals were going to do it, but then Kyler Murray threw that interception. This game was, I don't want to say it was boring, but now we'll talk about the Vikings next. Cardinals, yeah, they lost. They're out of the right now. They're out of the playoffs. Like I said, only one team's going to make it from that. That's the NFC West. Like I said, Cardinals play Seahawks at home. Luckily for them, this upcoming week. But yeah, the way they're playing, we all gave the Cardinals. Let's see. Last week we gave the Cardinals. Cardinals. We all gave them a 5. I'm gonna keep them at a 5 because when you're if the division finishes like it is, they're just be missing the playoffs. And there's something about the Cardinals. Like I felt the magic early in the season, and now I feel like that magic is slowly dwindling. Unfortunately.
There's no magic right now. Do you believe in not magic? Because they're not going to win. But anyway, let's start with you, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the Arizona Cardinals as a former Arizona resident? What's your thoughts about the Cardinals?
I mean, I think that they're going to beat the Seahawks this weekend and take the top spot in the division. But they got to be a 5 until they do it. They just lost to the Seahawks. So we respect the head results.
I mean, I will tell you this. I think that the Cardinals actually have a easy schedule. Like I said, next week they do got to play against the Seahawks, so that's going to be a tough game because that is a battle of who's going to make the division. Then they got to play against the Patriots, phoning it in. Panthers, phoning it in. Then you got to play against the Rams.
Hey, don't phone in the Panthers right now, man.
I know the one game. But
they just took the Buccaneers to overtime, the game that they probably should have won.
They should have won that game, honestly.
And they should have beat the Chiefs the week before, so you can't phone that one in.
All right, fine. That's why I'm giving the Cardinals a 5. I'm just saying.
I will say the Cardinals have a little bit of easier schedule than the Seahawks in the remaining 5 games.
They got a soft.
This should be a great finish for the NFC West.
I will tell you that if they don't make the postseason, the Cardinals, just give up the season. Just give up. It's just like.
Also, we can't forget about the Rams. The Rams and the Cardinals have the same exact record.
I mean,
Cardinals and Rams are both 6-6.
You still have to consider the 49ers, but I mean, without McCaffrey, it's kind of hard to. But
the 49ers, their offense is so electric, man. They're right. Well, we're gonna come to that game shortly, so
I guess we'll see how it goes right over there. And now we got a gentleman right over here. We got the Minnesota Vikings, who somehow came back and won a game. Yay, Minnesota, you actually did it.
Actually won a game, Sue. They've only lost 2 games. They've won 10. Well, they're 1 game worse record-wise than the Chiefs.
I thought that they were going to choke this game away. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they were going to choke this game away. And so we'll start with you, Douglas. Your favorite rivalry right now, the Minnesota Vikings. What is your thoughts about them?
I mean, they keep winning, man. I mean, they don't look good, but they keep doing it. They feel like they got some of that Chiefs in them. You know, like they keep kind of finding the play when they need it, and that's always really tough because they've been pretty clutch, man. Like they almost had a nice rally against the Lions too, and if they had that, they'd be sitting there in the 1 seed spot.
Yeah.
I mean, this team, unfortunately, even as great as they are, I think they're the 3rd best team in the NFC. So I got to give them a 7. Like, I don't think that they are better than the Eagles or the Lions.
No.
You think they're better than the Packers? All right. I probably agree with that.
Did they play head to head? I think the Vikings beat the Packers, didn't they?
Week 4, Vikings won 31-29. It was a barn burner. That was a close one.
Yeah, so I mean, head to head, I respect it.
Yeah, it's always a close one, and I feel like if I had to put the Minnesota Vikings, I think they're still they still would make the postseason. They would play against the Falcons, which actually, funny enough, that this week they're going to play against the Falcons in Sunday at 1. So I think that's going to be an interesting toss up. They got to play against the Bears, but I think that was a close game against them. Seahawks was a very close game. Packers is like a close game. Detroit, maybe you might have a shot. So I'm like, I still feel like for right now it's a 7, but that's a tough way to get to the 7, in my opinion.
Yeah, give them that small 7.
No,
Give them that different font 7.
How dare you? How dare you? Even though I screwed this up, but that's okay because that's why we're going to the soup.
There we go. And I'm gonna keep them at 7 too. Like you guys said. Yeah, I mean they're 10-2. Doug said they always find a way to win. That game against the Jaguars where they kicked 4 field goals, they gave up a touchdown, they won 12-7. That's an uncomfortable game. But a win is a win at the end of the day. Like I always say, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. And they're going to play either the Falcons or the Buccaneers right now in the first round of the playoffs. And I think they could, not easily, well, maybe easily beat either of those teams. So yeah, 7 for the Vikings out of Minnesota.
Yes. And now we got an important game to realize that the Tennessee Titans are still not eliminated from the playoffs. Somehow, my God, they lost badly, 42-19 right now. Oh my God. Can we just keep it sweet and simple? This team is not going to make the postseason. This team's we're going to write their eulogy tomorrow. I just know it. They're going to get a 2.
Let's not write tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Wednesday. We'll save it for next week.
No, we'll save it till next week. Honestly, I should start writing it beforehand. Let's be honest. They're not going to do it. They're not.
Yeah, I mean, they'll keep it short and simple, like you said, Stu. They show their true colors. 19 points is still a good amount of points to score, but when your defense gives up 42 points, I know it's the Commanders who have an explosive offense for the most part. Will Levis looked actually pretty good. Over 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, but a loss is a loss. We all gave him a 2 last week. Keep him at a 2 because, like you said, Stu, maybe not tomorrow, but next week we'll be writing their eulogy. So, yeah.
Yeah, and now it's your turn,
Douglas. Triple deuce me.
Triple deuce you?
Triple deucer.
Oh, my God. Okay, and why do you want to give the triple deuces?
I mean, they bad. They bad. There's not much to say. They can forget and losing week after week. It's not a lot of hope here.
Yeah, they're not going to. And I'm looking at their schedule. They're going to play against the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars could phone it in. But the Titans could actually lose to the Jaguars because I think the Jaguars won. Then it's the Bengals. They're not going to beat the Bengals. They're not going to beat the Colts. They could beat the Jaguars again, and then they're not going to beat the Texans. So it's I see 3 guaranteed losses.
Mm-hmm.
And they might be phoning it in at this point. Next week, I think they might if they lose because they got to play against the Jaguars. But like I said, I think they're probably phoning it in at this point. So.
Yeah.
Nobody's shocked about the Titans have been pretty bad. And now we got to talk about the Commanders, the Washington Commies, who decisively curb stomped the Tennessee Titans 42-19. As of right now, they would still be in the wild card and they would play against the Eagles. Why?
That's the way it works.
Why can I not have nice things? I'm just saying.
They should have beat the Cowboys.
They should have. But we're coming back, baby. And we're going to get that 7 seed right now. And we'll get the doubleheader. And then we're going to go and then win. And then we're going to get a Super Bowl.
Sir, you're talking about the Commanders? I agree with that. If you're talking about the Cowboys, you're out of your mind.
No! But anyway, Commanders, they look good. They did win. They did win this game, 42-19. They're not going to beat the Eagles. They're going to beat the 6 for right now. I'm just meh. So.
Yeah, we all gave the Commanders a 6 last week, and right now
they'd be a really garbage.
I guess that'd be 2.5 games above the Buccaneers in the playoffs for the wild card because Commanders only have 4 games left. They still have a bye week. That's actually this week. Saints, Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys in that order. Rest of the season, beat the Saints. Possibly more than likely lose the Eagles, beat the Falcons, more than likely beat the Cowboys. So yeah, they're gonna start running away with this wild card spot. So yeah, keep them at a 6. But right now they'd be playing the Eagles, and the Eagles, man, they're just a team you don't want to be playing the Eagles. So yeah, 6 for the Commanders. They'll make the playoffs, but will not make it out of the first round more than likely.
All righty, Douglas.
Yep. Well said. They're 6. I mean. I mean, I hope that they kind of get it together. Like they're a team that I definitely could root for. But they're still a little bit too inconsistent. Still got a rookie quarterback learning the league. But they should definitely make the playoffs over the Cowboys.
Why? I think it's the Cowboys are going to come. Just saying.
Sorry, Stu. Hate to burst the bubble.
No. You know what? I'm just going to give up. Goodbye, guys. I'm just going to bet. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to take a nap. No, I'm just kidding. And now we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating up on the Carolina Panthers 26-23. Went to overtime.
Beating up's a strong statement.
Yes, you're only winning by 3. That's not a beating up by any game.
Overtime.
Yes. And no, I'm not sleep deprived. I'm not going crazy. Or am I? But we can talk about the Carolina Panthers, who just lost another game right now, 23-26 in overtime. I thought, honestly, Carolina was going to win this game. And I was thinking, oh, my God. It was like your name tree had a good joke. I was like, wouldn't it be hilarious if the Carolina Panthers made the postseason? Bryce Young plays. Wouldn't that be kind of funny just to see how dumpster fire of a thing that the Panthers actually make it?
Oh, that would have been fun.
I mean, we all gave the Panthers a 2 last week. I'll keep it short and simple. Keep them at a 2. They lost. That game should not even gone to overtime. I mean, it was 20-16. And then, Adam Thielen with that amazing touchdown. Then the Panthers should have won. And then then the Buccaneers kicked the field goal to send it overtime. When you have that much wishy-washy back and forth in the fourth quarter and you lose that game, keep them at it too. I mean, they're 3-9. We might be writing their eulogy next week.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think we will write their eulogy next week because the division is trash. I'm just saying.
Division, you're right. Yeah, we won't be running there. They still actually have a shot. You're right, Stu. Yeah,
they still have a shot. I would laugh.
That's crazy.
Wouldn't it be funny if that happened in like the most rando world that Bryce Young gets to make a postseason? Like we're in like the upside down world. We're just like, wouldn't you be confused in this world? You're just like, what? Why is this happening?
I mean, if they finish strong, they could easily tie the season with the Buccaneers in the series. Saints, they lost actually they split it with the Saints, and then the Falcons, they could split it with the Falcons. So there's a possibility that the Panthers could make the playoffs.
Yeah, I would laugh at that. So as of right now, the Panthers would play against the Eagles. They're not going to beat the Eagles. Cowboys toss up. But I mean, more Cowboys.
Yeah, that's what I'll give you, Stu.
Okay, thank God. I was like, I was going to be a little bit worried there. You're like, oh, Cowboys bias, blah 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 blah.
Not on that one. I mean, for the Bengals one, I don't see it, but
I will laugh if the Cowboys actually do beat the Bengals, and I'm just going to be like, who's right?
Well, Stu, I will absolutely give you an apology and $5 if the Cowboys win.
Yeah. Anyway, where would you give the Panthers right now?
Dos.
Doses? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, da, da, da. They lost us. They're not good. Panthers are not good. I know. I think this is why delirium happens. And my delirium realizes that the Carolina Panthers are going to have some great seats when they go watch this game on the couch. They're getting a 2, let's be honest. But it would be hilarious if they do make it. Please let this world. Please, football gods. Can we pray to the football gods right now, Christopher?
Stu, I hope we can change them from a 2 all the way up to a 10 in Super Bowl champs.
My God. Bryce Young. Oh, my God. Beats up Patrick Mahomes and beats them and win the Super Bowl. I think at this point, I'd just be like, I'm just throwing everything in the ground. I don't know. What are we supposed to do at this world? This don't make any sense. But things that do kind of make sense is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won a game. So is Mike Evans out for the year?
No, sir. He was back and balling out.
Yeah, he returned 2 weeks ago, and Yeah, he severely took all the workload from the tight end Kate on, and then Evans had a good game, 118 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah,
bring that up.
Evans is back,
and Bucky Evans is got a touchdown, 152 yards right now. I wish he could make those numbers.
So last week, Doug, you and I gave the Buccaneers a 5. Stu, you gave them a 4.
Yeah.
And you guys both gave the Falcons a 6. Actually, no, it looks like you gave them a 5. I was the only one who gave the Falcons a 6.
Yeah, they're tied with the.
So it looks like you guys are pretty confident the Buccaneers are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them a 6 personally.
Oh, why are you giving them a 6, Douglas?
Well, because I think they're better than the Falcons, even if logic says they lost them twice. I think that they're just one of those teams that you just kind of have a good feeling them will find a way to get in there. You know, Baker is going to go plant some flags, and rightfully so.
Oh, no, we do not plant. We do not support in the Casual Sports Talk podcast planting flags.
Yes, we do. 2 out of 3 casual sports podcasters are in agreement with planting flags.
No,
you're the only ones to.
No planting flags.
What?
You're just mad, bro.
Yeah. No flags. Flags. Sorry.
Good catch.
I did not say that word. I did not say that word. Okay. I'm just saying. I did not. I was like, no.
We support planting flags, Stu.
We support planting flags in anything.
All right, Stuart. So where are you going? We're here with the Buccaneers.
There's 5 right now. They're not even in the postseason yet. They're not even looking like they could. I mean, granted, you barely beat the Carolina Panthers. I'm just saying.
I gave the Falcons a 6.
Dude, so did the Chiefs. Did you forget about that? So did the Kansas City Chiefs. They also barely beat the Panthers.
But the Chiefs won a Super Bowl last year.
That's the past.
Stu, do you know who beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? The Buccaneers, okay?
That was Tom Brady. Baker Mayfield ain't Brady.
He said team has won a Super Bowl.
This is Baker.
This team won a Super Bowl, Stu. I don't want to hear it.
I don't. No. Honestly, you woke me up into a grumpiness. How dare you tell me that the Buccaneers are going to be better than the Chiefs? I'm just saying.
Oh, Stu, I got no problem doing it. I'm not saying the Buccaneers lost to the Chiefs. Nobody's saying that.
How dare you?
I'm giving the Buccaneers a 5 since I gave the Falcons a 6.
Thank God. Thank you for agreeing with me. My God. And then why are you giving them 5?
Because I gave the Falcons a 6.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, there's no other reason. I can't have two teams from the same division. That the division is all like you said earlier, through a carousel or like a roller coaster going up and down. Yeah, I can't have 2 teams making the playoffs from that division.
I will be honest with you. So far, it looks like for the Buccaneers, they got to play against the Raiders. I think that's a win. Chargers, that could be a coin flip, but I'm leaning more towards the Chargers. Cowboys is a 50-50. Panthers is almost a guarantee that the Panthers will lose this game. But I thought they were going to win. I thought the Buccaneers were going to win this game. Turns out that was close. Just saying. And then they play against the Saints, who are kind of phoning it in right now. So we will see how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will do better. And then if they're going to still make it to the postseason. And now we got the Rammies beating up
the Saints first because the Rams won.
Yes. So we'll start with you, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the Saints losing 14-21 against the Rams?
First, poor Taysom Hill, man. What a shame. Such a likable guy, man, out for the season.
Oh, yeah, he's out for the season. Oh, my God. I totally forgot about that. So Taysom
Wait, who's out for the season?
Taysom Hill.
Oh, jeez.
Gruesome leg injury. But, I mean, this team, like, their new coach kind of sparked something, so that was fun to see. You know, like, they were kind of in this game, too. But they're still, what are they, like 5? I don't know the record.
4-8 as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, they feel like a 3 to me. Like that's the zone I'm kind of getting on this team.
I mean, it is very interesting because I'm like, and I think we'll probably be heading to our eulogy right now for the Saints. But like the Saints kind of have a soft schedule towards the end. They got to play against the Giants. That's probably that's gonna be a great game. Are you gonna watch that December 8th? Watch the Giants versus Saints game?
I mean, is that one of those like Netflix only ones or something?
No, it's on the Fox channel, baby.
Oh. No, I can't say I would.
It's probably gonna be in no one's zone. It's on Fox, but only in New York and in New Orleans.
Yes.
No one's gonna be able to watch that game. No one's gonna want to
watch that game. But I feel like that as of right now, I'm feeling the Saints are not marching in and getting a 2. I just kind of feel like they're like in mid. I'm not really impressed. I'm not really like disappointed. It's kind of like blah. That's how I kind of feel right now about the Saints. And now
I'll keep them short and simple, a 3 as well. We gave the other 8 a 3. Ever since I keep mentioning this every single week, I'm pretty sure. Ever since Kamara signed that extension, Kamara has not scored a touchdown. He started the season as the leading candidate for the MVP. I'm pretty sure that's someone he had 6 touchdowns within the first 2 or 3 weeks. And now he's running back number 41. He was running back 1, and now I don't even know, like 10 weeks later, 9 weeks later, he's running back 41. So I feel like Kamara, he's due up. They should beat the Giants, but right now they're playing like a 3. That's why I'll easily give them.
Alrighty. And now the Rammies are about to ram it to another win. They're now in the pool of blood of 6-6s with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Arizona Cardinals right now. I guess we'll start with you, Christopher. What is your thoughts about the LA
This should be easy for us. And we all gave them a 4, so we should see them with an increase here. Yeah, and like you said, Sewell, they're in the pool for 6-6s against the Commanders team for the final spot in the playoffs. Unfortunately, there will not be 2 teams from that division of the NFC West making the playoffs. I'm gonna put the Rams at a 5, and that's simply because they beat the Saints. Saints, they're not an easy team to beat, but they're not a hard team to lose to or a hard team to beat. It doesn't matter. I'm keeping them at a 5 because that division, it's going in circles. It's going to be Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams. They're all going to be alternating first place from here on out for the rest of the season, more than likely. So yeah, at a 5.
Alrighty, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the Rammies?
I'm torn, man, because I don't know if this team has like an actual shot at the playoffs, but like they are there. So like I think I'll go a 5 as well. Like
wow!
I'll honor the win, but like it's kind of tough too, man. Like I feel like won by more. Like I don't know. Like there's a lot of good things going on. I guess I don't know. I'll quit being picky, but they won.
I mean, they did win, but it's against a Saints team that's not that good. Let's be honest.
Well, the win was also on the road. It was in New Orleans. They won by a touchdown. So yeah, I mean,
but
when you win by a touchdown on the road, it should be, they were pretty. So the Rams coming into the game, they were 5-6. Saints were 4-7. So they're pretty, comparable contenders in that game. So
that's fair. It's fair.
It's fine, but still, it's not like this is like this Rams team has been like okay or mid, and I think I'm gonna give them the 555s. Because I'm like, you know what? They're 6-6. They're at least they're in that bubble right now. Like those teams that could make the postseason right now. I think they're in that 3 bubble. So I think they're in the football hell for right now. So that is it for the Saints that are not the Saints, the Rammies, because they're gonna ram it. Also, I will say for next week, they got to play against the Bills. That's a loss. 49ers is a toss-up. They'll beat the Jets. They will – actually, the Cardinals would be a toss-up and the Seahawks would be a toss-up, in my opinion.
So, yeah, if they win both those games, Seahawks and Cardinals, they should make the playoffs. If they lose one, if they lose both, then they'll just be barely missing the playoffs. I'm glad we put them at a 5.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of feel like they're in that weird 5. And now, why can I not have nice things? Because the Philadelphia Eagles beating the Baltimore Ravens 19-24. And granted, they did get a late touchdown towards the end in a garbage time. So I'm not going to count that last touchdown, in my opinion. So we'll start with you, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the Baltimore Ravens?
What a disappointing events. Like I thought this was like their chance to build on it. I was excited for them to kind of take that step, have a marquee win. But like they never seem to win the big ones, man. And like it's kind of becoming a concern for Lamar. It's like, dude, you're at home, like I don't know. Like it was just I'm pretty disappointed. Like I'm gonna give them a 6. Like they still look like a solid playoff team, but like, man, oh man, you gotta be able to, I don't know. If you're supposed to be one of like the league MVP front runners and like all this hype and everything, and then you kind of get beat pretty bad to the Eagles, it was a little bit rough to watch.
Yeah. I just don't think this team's going to beat the Steelers right now. And they already lost to the Steelers, so I'm just kind of like about that. And you did lose, and this was your statement game. And honestly, I feel like the Ravens are in the same – they're like the same spot, I feel like, as the Bengals in their defense. Defense is not the best right now. Offense is doing good. Defense, about that.
But, I mean, the offense kind of lost on this one. I mean, they didn't do anything. Like, the Eagles shut them down, man. So it's like, your offense didn't do very much.
Yeah, and plus they got a garbage time touchdown. So it's just like, I mean, Lamar got 2 TDs, and Derrick Henry didn't really have a great rushing thing. Only 82.
Well, technically Lamar had 1 touchdown because you guys keep mentioning the garbage time touchdown, which I agree.
Oh yeah,
pretty much 1 touchdown.
1 touchdown.
But also Justin Tucker, don't forget about him. 2 missed field goals and a missed PAT, point after touchdown. That's 7 points right there. Had he not missed those big boys right there, that could have been a different narrative to the story. But he missed those field goals, 7 points, and a loss is a loss.
Yeah, a loss is a loss, and I think they're going to lose to the Steelers. So that's why I'm going to give them at the 6.
And I agree. Like we all gave the Ravens actually last week. We all gave them a 7. And yeah, the way the Steelers are playing right now, the Ravens will play in Pittsburgh in that for first round of the playoffs. I'm going to give the Ravens a 6 because Justin Tucker, I mean, this isn't the first week he's missed field goals and PATs. I don't like to call players washed up, but I think he's definitely out of his prime. And the Steelers have one of the best kickers in the league. If it comes down to a kicking game, if it's snowing in Pittsburgh has the advantage. Ravens looked amazing beginning of the season offensively. Derrick Henry hasn't scored.
Not the first 2 games.
Derrick Henry hasn't scored in two straight weeks. But yeah, they have a bye week and then they play Giants. That should be an easy win.
And then they got to play against
Steelers,
the Steelers,
Browns, something like that.
I think probably they might lose the Steelers again, but I think they could probably 3 games. Just saying.
I was hoping this game was going to be the game of the week. And then the Eagles showed us why they are top contender, one of the top contenders in the NFC.
And now, speaking of which, I got to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, and I will go first on my most favorite team in the NFL. Said no one ever. The Eagles.
Yeah. So a lot of people say the Eagles are their favorite team in the NFL.
Well, they just don't have a good taste in football teams. I'm just saying.
They have better taste than Cowboys fans.
That's stupid.
Really? Really? You got to do this.
I mean, Stuart, we're looking at records. Eagles going to make the playoffs. Cowboys, they're on the teeter-totter of making the playoffs more than likely not. So, yeah.
Hey, I think we're going to come back. We're going to be in the 7th seed.
All right. You mentioned this 3 times already. So how about we talk about the Eagles here?
All right. We'll talk about the Eagles. The Eagles did pretty good. They were pretty dominant. I hate to say it, they look kind of Super Bowl legit right now. It's actually kind of irritating me on the inside. I'm just saying. Because it's like, man, why? And also, I will say, I'm looking at their schedule right now. So for the Eagles, they got to play against the Panthers. Guaranteed win for that one. Steelers versus that could be a toss-up. Commanders, I think the Commanders are not going to beat the Eagles, so that's a guaranteed win. Cowboys,
not a guarantee.
Yeah, sir. Not against the Commanders. The game's in Washington, or it's in Maryland.
But I'm thinking that's why I agree. It's a toss-up versus the Cowboys versus Eagles on like the 29th, right?
No. That game's in Philadelphia, Stu. Bye-bye,
What?
Cowboys.
What?
It's gonna be a cold day.
What?
Cowboys aren't gonna excel. But we're not talking about the Cowboys. Cowboys gonna lose that game in Philadelphia.
Boo all of you. Boo all of you. Boo. Boo. So I think they're probably still an 8. I think these are probably the 2 legit teams in the NFL. It's just the Eagles. It pains me.
I would love in 2 weeks Steelers play in Philadelphia. That'd be amazing if that was a Super Bowl preview right there. You know, majority of us are going Lions, Chiefs, or Lions, Bills. That'd be cool right there. The battle of Philadelphia.
It's the Pennsylvania versus Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Keep me on 8 because the way the Eagles are playing, I don't see any other teams making the NFC Championship game between besides the Lions and the Eagles. Eagles might be able to move up to a 9 here, but you know they're playing like an 8 for sure, and Lions are going to continue playing like a 9 for the time being.
All right, Douglas, what is your thoughts about the Eagles? Eagles die.
I mean, I'm just praying that the Lions can hold them off for the 1 seed. That's what I think about the Eagles. I think they scare me quite a bit. They're dominant, man. Like Saquon's absolutely crushing it. Like they have 2 elite receivers, an elite tight end, a great offensive line. Their defense is playing amazing. It's like they pretty much don't really have a weakness at the moment. It doesn't feel like
they don't. I just feel like this is not the Eagles of last year where it's just like they look mid and then it's just like they lost a lot of games. This team looks legit, and I'm nervous right now.
Well, Saquon Barkley, he's the right now the league leader in rush yards, and he's looking like an absolute unit, like a train going down the tracks. You can't really stop him, man.
I mean, honestly, I think I have to say it. I think Saquon's a better runner than Derrick Henry this year.
Well, I mean, for the first half of the season, actually up until 2 weeks ago, it was Henry, but yeah, Saquon's really pushing into full throttle here.
Look at how many yards, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, but it still pains my heart. Douglas, can I have a virtual hug?
No.
The Eagles are legit. This is a bull. This is bull.
I'm sorry, Stu. It does suck, but I'm also mad that they're less legit. If it makes you feel any better.
We want to live in a world. I wanted to be the Eagles of last year so I could make fun of them. Just saying. And now we got the 49ers right now losing the Buffalo Bills in the snowiest game of the snow games, which I will tell you this, Christopher. Skip Bayless apparently had a tweet from when I was listening, when I had it on the Urinating Tree Twitter space, that apparently Skip Bayless retweeted that he hates snow games and it ruins the fun of the NFL and it doesn't show the true character of which team.
Snow games are amazing. It's a different aspect of the NFL, and that's what makes the NFL an NFL. Because you can play indoors where it's there's no weather affecting it, or you can come to Cleveland and play in a snowstorm. You can come to Buffalo play in a snowstorm. And Buffalo's building that new stadium. There's going to be continuous snowstorms for the future.
Woohoo!
Cleveland, our indoor stadium is going to be ready in 5 years. So
yes,
the NFL is going to be holding on to Buffalo for those snowy games because Cleveland's going to be out of the picture here in the next 5 years.
So anyway, we're going to start with you for the 49ers. What is your thoughts about the 49ers? Because
last week, let's see, I gave the 49ers a 5 last week. You guys both gave them a 4. They are 5-7. That division is a toss-up. Let's see. We gave the Cowboys a 4, and they're the same record as the 49ers. So I'm gonna downgrade the 49ers from a 5 to a 4, as you should with a loss. But yeah, like we mentioned earlier, the loss of Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey was eating up the Bills' defense on Sunday night, and it was amazing to see for the first quarter. And then he got that he just stopped running during that one pitch to the right. And he fell he didn't even fall to the ground. No, he did fall to the ground. And then he
fell to the ground.
Yeah, so losing one of the best or one of the better players in the NFL, it's not going to help them out. So, yeah, 4 for the 49ers because schedule-wise, I mean, their schedule's not bad. They should beat the Bears, Rams, toss-up, Dolphins, Lions, Cardinals.
Yeah, that's not the best. And also, it's so weird to think about it. This team went from like the Super Bowl right now to now the worst in their division right now. It's crazy to think about that. That's a crazy stat to go.
I mean, I had the 49ers preseason going to be the number 1 seed, and that's not happening.
No.
Well, they might be on par with the Jaguars' biggest disappointments.
Yeah, honestly, but granted, I feel like it's more. Oh, and we should also say, I think Christian McCaffrey might be out for the rest of the year right now.
He definitely is. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking like.
It is definitely looking like it's not looking good right now because it's like, man, and it's not maybe looking good for someone that has him in fantasy and wish that I would, and I have buyer's remorse. That is not happening to me right now.
Mm-hmm. Good for you, too.
Good for you. I would still pick McCaffrey. I'm just saying. But we'll start with you, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the San Francisco 49ers?
One of the great disappointments of the year. I read a really good article earlier on what kind of caused the downfall of them this year. And I mean, it's kind of, like we were talking about, like they hit that bubble, lots of players getting hurt, just not a lot bouncing right for them this year. I mean, I'm tempted to even drop them to a 3 just because, and I think I will actually. I think they're going to be a 3. It might be an extreme 3, but they've lost by 25 and 28 the last 2 weeks. Like they're playing like a.
Yeah, if I'm looking at it, so their last 4 games, it's like they did beat the Buccaneers at one point, but they lost to the Seahawks by 3, lost to the Packers by 28, lost to the Bills by 24. But I feel like they're still in the same level as the Cowboys. Just saying.
Yeah, and I agree with Doug. Yeah, the last 2 games they've lost by 28 and 25. The rest of the season has been close.
Yeah.
But then, the way they're dwindling down.
They're definitely looking like they're collapsing, but I'll still give them the 4 right now since they are in the 5 and 7 and they're in that bubble. I don't think they're still going to be good enough for the draft pick to get a really good draft pick for right now. So I just feel like that the 49ers went from a Super Bowl contender 9 to a mid-team. Man, it's just like. And now we're going to talk about the Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia taking the house, beating up on them 49ers, winning on a snowy day, asking the fans to basically shovel the snow.
Shovel their seats.
Shovel their seats because we ain't doing nothing, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills, sure, we can start with you because Doug's taking a little bit of break here, looks like. So, yeah, I mean, we all took the Bills at an 8 last week. The Bills have won 7 in a row. So where are you going to go with this?
Crazy. I think I'm honestly going to give them the 8, and that's a pretty good for a mid team in the NFL right now. Like I feel like.
Sure, do you just call the Bills a mid team? Get out of here.
No,
Bills are not a mid team.
No, I meant beating a mid team like the 49ers. Gotcha. I am not going delirious right now. God darn it. I am not going crazy. Maybe a little bit, but that's okay. I'm fun crazy. But I digress. Buffalo is looking the Bills Mafia, and it's crazy to think because nobody thought that Buffalo was gonna make the postseason. None of us 3 were gonna think there. We thought that they basically they're done.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because they got rid of Diggs. Yeah,
they got rid of Stephon Diggs, and we were like, I think they're Super Bowl. And we should also talk about it that right now they officially clinched their division, so they are going to be the division champs. What a shocker! Because that division is strong right now in Buffalo. Don't you agree?
I mean, Miami's in second place with a 5 and 7 record. So that yeah. And I don't know why none of us. Well, I think we were riding high on the Bills, not the Bills, but the Dolphins and possibly the Jets. Really,
I was lying high on the Dolphins, and
me too.
I was still like a little bit question mark on the Jets, if I remember preseason. But for right now, for the rest of the games, it looks like they're going to play against the Rams. Who's a mid-team. Lions is going to be an interesting one. Buffalo and at Detroit. That might be a really interesting. And I'm kind of like.
Super Bowl preview. Let's go.
Super Bowl preview. I'm definitely going to watch this game. I'm definitely going to have like some people, and we're going to be like, we're going to have to watch this Lions versus Bills game because this is going to be very interesting. And then they got an easy, soft schedule: Patriots, Jets, Patriots.
Yeah, man.
I don't think there's one team from the AFC right now that could put it as a 9 because we all put the Chiefs at an 8. So I'm gonna keep the Bills at an 8 as well, just like last week. But man, that game in Detroit, it's in Detroit, so that'd be crazy if the Bills could pull out a W. If they could, that might be the decision maker right there to see if the Bills could stretch up and make it from an 8 to a 9. But yeah, I'm comfortable with an 8 right now, man, because the way they played in the snow on Sunday night, that was embarrassing for the 49ers. Well, the 49ers, they play in California, so they're not used to the snow.
Yeah.
It was just amazing how the Bills just – I thought it was going to be a complete running game. And, yeah, James Cook, he ran the ball like crazy. But Josh Allen, he was also throwing the ball. And I was not expecting it to be a lot of throws. I thought it was going to be 100%, not 100%, but like 95% all runs. But, man, if you can play in those elements, oh, man, you could probably play anywhere. So, yeah, in 2 weeks, that's going to be a nice matchup in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
All righty, Douglas. What is your thoughts about the Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia?
I agree with everything you said. Super tempting to give them a 9. Like, they beat the Chiefs. They look dominant week in and week out. Like, if they can beat the Lions, I think they're a definite 9.
But
I'll give them 8 right now.
yeah, 8 for right now. Look at that. It is now Buffalo's time. And now we got to talk about your favorite team, Christopher, that you think that they're going to –
I bleed orange and brown. I'll gladly start. I gave them a 2 last week. You guys both gave them a 3. We've been giving teams that are 3-9 a 2. So I'll continue with that trend, especially since they lost. I'll give them a 2. But, man, this was definitely the game of the week. Not before the game started, but after the game finished, man, because this game was back and forth. High scoring, that's what you want in any sport typically. It was amazing. Jameis Winston over 400 yards passing. He had over 40 pass attempts. Jerry Jeudy, his return to Denver, he had over 200 receiving yards. He had 2 touchdowns, I believe Jerry Jeudy did. I know Njoku had 2. But yeah, the Browns looked amazing. The only thing that held them back was the pick sixes. 2 of them.
Oh, yeah, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, our defense didn't look the greatest. I mean, our offense gave up 14 points. We lost 44. I don't remember the score. I should remember it. I'm just talking off
41-32. Sorry. So
41. So we should have won 32-27. Jameis Winston 2 pick sixes. But yeah, our defense shouldn't really be giving up 27 points. Bo Nix, an amazing talent in a rookie. 2 for the Browns. I mean, there's not much to say.
Yeah,
like I said earlier, I'm glad that they lost, so that we can hopefully move up and get a better draft pick.
Yeah, it's the same old Browns. Let's get the good draft pick.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's always next year.
It's always next year, unless you're Cleveland. You're just like, I want a good draft pick now.
Like Doug said, that's pretty much our motto in Cleveland. There's always next year.
Always another quarterback to ruin.
Yeah, it's the motto of Detroit as well. Most things.
Anyway, Douglas, what's your thoughts about the Cleveland Browns losing to the Denver Broncos?
Yeah, I mean, Chris once again nailed it. Like, lots of really good things. Like, it's so fun to see this offense kind of open up with Jameis Winston, such a likable fella. Like,
I
been fun to have won this game. I mean, yeah, like they're fun, but at the end of the day, they're 3-9, probably destined for like a top 6-7 pick. So I'll give them a 2.
Yeah, I think they're destined to be bad. I love Jameis Winston as like a person, maybe as a character.
As a character. Yeah, his interviews are hilarious.
And I agree. And I was listening to like Strong Opinion Sports. Like, wouldn't you love a YouTube series where Jameis Winston travels the world? Wouldn't that be kind of fun?
I don't know if I'd watch that.
Like Jameis
I would
Winston.
be better as a quarterback in the NFL.
I'm just saying. But as a quarterback, I think after this game, this kind of proved like, oh, that's why Jameis Winston has not been a starter in like 10 years. And he's been back up. Oh, yeah, about that. I mean,
The two pick sixes weren't really his fault. I mean, they're always a quarterback's fault well, not always, but yeah, the one pick six, he read the route wrong.
yarder. There was another one that was a 93-yarder.
Well, the 93-yard happened at the end of the game because he was trying to throw it in the end zone to make it a one-score game. So that was a pick six right there. But the other one, either he read the route wrong or the wide receiver did. He thought the wide receiver was going to cut down, but the wide receiver cut up the field. So he threw it under the wide receiver, and easy for the cornerback to get that pick six. So
yeah. So unfortunately, the Brownies get the triple twos of disappointment. And now we got the Denver Broncos winning up 41-32. And now, Douglas, you get to go first. What is your thoughts about the Broncos country? Let's ride with Bo Nix.
It's really fun to see Bo Nix kind of mature so fast. I mean, granted, he was in college for about 15 years.
Hey, sometimes it might. Hey, we're all late bloomers somehow. I'm just saying.
Well, he wasn't even a late bloomer. Like, I feel like he just stayed in college forever because he had like really nice run at Auburn, and then he went to like Oregon too for like a whole career. It was kind of wild.
Yes. Even though, granted, Bo Nix is 24, to be honest with
you. Yeah, it's not like crazy old or anything, but it's still. That's not the point. We're getting sidetracked here. Bo Nix is doing awesome. I love watching it. They're a fun team too, man. Like I kind of hope they make the playoffs. Like they might give some teams some trouble. Good defense,
but they would play against Buffalo. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I mean they feel like I feel like a 6 to me. I mean that seems fair. Like I don't think I'd take them over the Steelers or any of like the other teams.
No, I feel like the same way. I feel like for right now, the Broncos country. I mean, they did do, like I said. The only thing that was a little bit worrisome is, like I said, I think they should have been a lot more dominant with this Browns team. They kept them close. Granted, I think the defense helped. But you know what? It's an ugly win, but it's still a good win. They still won. So, but I just don't think they can beat the Bills. The Bills are in a much more better spot. They're a better team. I think until they can improve that draft spot, improve that, I think they're probably going to be a 6. And I think they might be a blowout for the Bills to win against the Broncos if they played against each other. Now, Christopher, what is your final thoughts?
Yeah, easy. Yeah, we all gave the Broncos a 6 last week. I'll continue with a 6 because they'd be playing the Bills right now. The playoffs started, and as you mentioned, Bills are an amazing team.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they have a 2-game and a 2.5 lead game on the next contenders or runners up for that final wild card spot. So I think they got it. So yeah, 6.
Look at that. And look at that, gentlemen. We got done with our picks right now with our numbers. And now we got some wagers of the week. Like I said, who's going to be fired for the first year? I'm still going to rag on you for picking the Patriots. But I think me and Douglas will both have probably some unemployment right now. Should be eliminated. And it looks like all of us were wrong for who's the first team to get eliminated because it's technically was the Giants.
Well, I mean, out of those 3 teams, Stu, you and I are correct. But yeah, if we're going first team eliminated, and then we're going first coach fired, and has already been a coach being fired.
Yeah, so technically we were both wrong on this one. Unfortunately, like I said.
And then we were all wrong on the first.
And I don't feel like the Patriots are going to get the number 1 overall pick. And then, unfortunately, for me and Douglas, we have to owe Chris $10.
No. I would owe you guys $5 if the Vikings lost to the Cardinals, but the Vikings won, so you guys each owe me $5.
All right, that's fine.
But I'm going to come up to Michigan, Stu, so just buy me a beer or something. We'll figure it out when I come up on Saturday.
Yeah, but Chris, you were even because of that. What the other bet, right?
Yeah, I was going to get down to it when we got down to the bottom there.
Yeah, I can definitely do that for right now. And now we got these Colts versus Texans, and darn. Yeah.
Well, when does that game happen? Colts versus Texans.
No, I don't think we're betting on that. We're betting on Stuart thought that the Colts would pass the Texans for the playoffs.
Oh, okay. was gonna say if you guys are bang on that game,
So,
that'd be,
that's a long-term bet.
okay, gotcha.
And I feel like I might not be in the game.
It's a two-game spread right now in favor of the Texans.
Yeah, and the Colts just lost, so it's like, and then Chiefs versus the Bills for the Super Bowl.
Well, this is a long-term spread. Doug picked the Bills to be in the Super Bowl, and Stuart, you picked the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl. That's a long-term bet.
Because I decided we can't have nice things, gentlemen. We can't have nice things in this world, so that's why I'm like Chiefs.
Oh.
And then, unfortunately, we can ignore this game that we don't need to talk about, the Ohio State versus Michigan game. Just saying.
So, yeah, Stuart, you owe Doug another $5, where this is where Doug and I cancel each other out because, yeah, Michigan, unfortunately for us, but fortunately for Doug, beat the Buckeyes on Saturday, November 30th.
I don't want to talk about it. It's too hard.
You owe me $5. You owe Doug $5, and Doug and I are even.
I owe even people at work $5 because of this game. God damn it. This is a bull.
Man,
Yeah,
a lot of people with money.
I owe people money. I'm getting broke. I'm going to be like, we'll bet sports money for food. I'm going to be in the streets and be like, we'll sports bet for food. Please.
My only regret is we didn't have more.
I honestly was offering $500 bets that Ohio.
Were you really?
Yes.
Why didn't you offer one to me, Stu?
Wait, Stuart, what'd you do?
It was like joking that I said $500 that these people.
Oh, jokingly, I gotcha.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sorry. And now we got the stocks we need to buy right now. So unfortunately for you, Christopher, we got some bad news. Since the Colts got officially eliminated,
you mean the Giants. Colts are still in it, Stu.
Sorry. I'm going crazy. Delirium is hitting in. So unfortunately for your Giants to be eliminated, your $2 are Kaputski. Kaputski out of there. Because like I said, when teams get eliminated in the postseason, you lose all that money.
That's right, down to a zero, a goose egg.
You goose egged right now out of there, so you're now down to 24. And then I believe the Colts did.
So the Colts, we bumped them up to a 5. So 5 times 6, I got $30 here.
Woohoo! 30
Hey, put the Colts to a $5 just so we know we're good.
Yeah, let's go.
And then for the Cowboys, since both Doug and Stu picked the Cowboys, we bumped them up from a 3 to a 4.
Nice.
So Doug, you make $12 off the Cowboys if you were to sell it, and same with Stu, you would make $12 as well.
Woohoo! So I got $12
at the moment, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
But then we'll focus on Doug here. So Doug's at $12 with the Cowboys. His Cardinals, let's see.
They dropped.
They actually went from we all agreed that they'd go from a 5 to a 6.
Did we do?
Actually, wait, what am I thinking here?
Like,
the Cardinals. Let's see here. What am I? Oh, the Cardinals were at 5.
No, yeah, I think the Cardinals stay the same.
Yeah, we put them at a 5. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, so right now it's at 4, so they bumped up as well.
Yeah,
they did
bump up as well. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let me do a double check. I just kind of want to see. Did we last week give the Cardinals a 5?
Yeah, we gave the Cardinals a 5 last week.
Oh, you might have put my numbers backwards then, Stu.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You bumped them up from 5 shares or from 4 shares to 5.
Oh.
So
put that times 5 to a times 4.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I screwed up. Yep. So actually they were a 5 last week. So
so put them at a 5. Cardinals 5. There we go.
Oh, I don't think anything changed on that one.
Well, but Doug had 4 shares of them, so put it times 4.
Oh.
There you go.
And then that was probably my screw up. So
and then here put $0 for the Giants next to my name. No, in the dollar. There you go.
Look at that. And
then Stuart, for your Colts. The Colts went to a
5, and then the Cowboys.
5, and
and technically they were a 3, and then like I said last time.
We'll put the Cowboys at a 4.
Yeah, they're now at a 4.
Do the math to see how many dollars we all have.
All right, let's see the math, baby.
So Doug, 4 times 3 is 12, and then 5 times 4 is 20. So he's at 32.
Ooh, 32 right now.
And then I'm at 30 because I'm at 5 times 6. Then Stu, you're at 4 times 3 for the Cowboys is 12. And then 5 times 2 for the Colts is 10. So 12 plus 10, you got $22.
Woo! Let's go! I'm coming back, baby. Anyway, so let's start with you, Douglas. What is your wager for the week?
Well, so what did we put the Bengals at? Are they a 4 right now?
I believe they're at a 3.
So we had the Bengals are at a 4.
All right. Give me. Well, I want to keep the Cardinals. So you said they're at a 3?
Bengals are at a 4.
Oh, okay. I'll buy Bengal stock and sell my Cowboys. That'll be my change.
What?
So I think the Bengals will beat the Cowboys, so I'm going to put money on the Bengals.
What? Oh, man.
Monday night, baby.
Monday night, baby. The battle of who is the most mid-team.
Wow, Stuart or Doug, you're going to keep the Cardinals? Woo.
Oh, yeah. I think they'll.
Oh, right, they play Seattle at home. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. That's a big one for playoff spot for sure.
Oh, 100%.
All righty. I'm going to go. Okay, now it's time for you, Christopher.
All right, so I have $30. Sell all my shares for the Colts. Obviously, the Giants did me a dud. So I'm gonna buy 6 shares of the Buccaneers.
Oh, you're going Buccaneers.
And I mean, you could keep the same values because the Buccaneers they're worth $5.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6 shares of $5. That's $30 right there.
So you're going all in on the Buccaneers right now.
That's right. I mean, they play the Raiders, and if they win and the Falcons lose, Buccaneers could be in first place. So yeah, we'll see.
Let me think about it. Where do I? All right, I'm going to be strategic. I was actually going for the Buccaneers also.
Ooh, nice.
I think I'm going to go Buccaneers. I'm going to probably go 2 shares. No, actually, 3 shares.
3 shares. So that means you have $7 left.
Or did I go 4 shares?
4. All right. You're gonna have a two squad try to win.
Yes, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I think we got to do it, and then I'm gonna go with the Titans because the Jaguars are out. I'm gonna put some. I'm gonna go $2. I'm gonna go $1 on the Titans right now.
One stock for their $2 value. Gotcha.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's roll the dice, baby. I'm taking the risk. Let's do it. I don't think the Titans are going to get eliminated just yet. They'll just win a game, and they'll be in the 3, baby.
I mean, heck, if they bump up to 4-9, we've been giving the teams with 4 wins a 3, so that could easily give you a extra $1 there.
Yes.
And then, also, man, yeah, Doug, that Cardinals Seahawks game, that's going to be a big one.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one right now. That's going to be an interesting big one right now. So, gentlemen, do you have any final thoughts before we end this podcast?
Browns might get eliminated from the playoffs this week. So, yeah.
You're not going to put any Brown stock?
No, I mean, it's in Pittsburgh. I would not trust that. Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on this upcoming weekend of football?
I hope my Cowboys win, and Eagles, I hope you choke a game against the Panthers.
Against the Panthers.
Let's do.
Hey, I got to put my Eagles hatred. I'm just saying. And then, Douglas, you have any final thoughts?
I'm glad that the Lions play on Thursday because that's a big game. I'm excited to get kind of a big game in prime time. Get to watch the Lions. Lots of big time divisional matchups coming up here too. It's gonna be a fun end of the season here.
It's gonna be a fun end of the season, so we'll have a fun one. And then you Chris, do you have any final thoughts?
I like what Doug said. Hopefully that Thursday night is the game of the week. Now, I mean, it might be the game of the week. I'm not sure if it is, but I'm talking about for action, for scoring, defense, all the above. I hope it's the game of the week, just like the Broncos game was pretty much the game of the week. So yeah, hopefully it's action packed, not a bunch of defense. But I mean, I'm definitely rooting for the Lions because I like them as a team for sure.
Yes. And so next week, gentlemen, we're going to go to week 14, where we'll have more eulogies, more scorings, and more stock options. And we'll see how it goes. And I'm hoping that the Titans do not be the next eulogy. I'm just saying. And as always, everybody, I will catch you later, Mr. Gators. So as always, take care. Bye-bye.